PLT, just to keep 38 CRTs with all this going on, we have DSN CRT-2 momentarily, have not had a chance to chase it in the mail book. We're using CRTs 1, 3, and 4.
Roger, we copy that, Columbia. And Columbia, Houston, we have the rest of this pass in Botswana are only 2 chances to get the pads up for 3 Alpha and Bravo for your Q cards. So if you're ready to copy those here, we'd like to give them a try at Ascension. We have a minute 30 left yet.
Okay, we'll get the pads out, or we'll get the cards out, Dan.
Columbia, Houston, we're 30 seconds from LOS. We won't get the pad up this time, but if you'll have those cards ready, we'll catch you at Botswana with it, and we'll pick you up there at 5 hours and 15 minutes.
Okay, cards are out, and we're ready. We'll be ready when we come AOS.
Roger, thank you.
This is Shuttle Control Houston at 5 hours, 10 minutes mission elapsed time. Loss of signal now with Columbia. The next station to acquire will be Botswana in approximately 4.5 minutes. Fuel cell number 1 has been shut down during the last pass over Ascension. The reason being there was a concern about seepage, which could bring about a mixture of oxygen and hydrogen. Per the flight plan, we still expect ohms 3A and B as well as ohms 4 burns to occur. And it is also possible to restart fuel cell number 1 if desirable later in the mission. We're at 5 hours, 11 minutes mission elapsed time. This is Shuttle Control Houston. This is Shuttle Control Houston, 5 hours, 15 minutes mission elapsed time. Standing by now for contact with the crew through Botswana.
Hello, Columbia, this is Houston. We have you through Botswana for 5 minutes. And you can, we're going to delay ohms 3 Alpha and Bravo and ohms 4 for a rev here. We want to understand the power loads and with the fuel cell down and stuff before we try and pull off this burn.
Okay, Dan, we understand that.
Shuttle Control Houston, 5 hours, 16 minutes mission elapsed time. That was Capcom Brandenstein reporting to England Truly that the remaining ohms burns will be delayed by 1 revolution until a better understanding takes place regarding the power levels required for the burns. We're at 5 hours, 16 minutes mission elapsed time. This is Shuttle Control Houston.
Houston PLC.
Go ahead, Columbia.
Roger, Dan. We just got 3 consecutive messages, S86 APU, hydraulic APU. I do not see an additional down arrow. For number 1, the valve temp, pump valve cool valve temp reads 129. I thought I saw a momentary down arrow in that part of the display, and that might have been it. Over.
Roger, Columbia. And Columbia, Houston, for your information, we don't want any of these TACAN tests done. We like don't want to change the power level. We like to keep the power level pretty much as it is right now until we get all this fuel cell stuff sorted out. So those TACAN navigation tests where you turn them on, you can hold off on until we get this sorted out.
Okay, Dan. Houston, Columbia.
Go ahead, Columbia.
Houston, Columbia, you ready?
Roger, Columbia, this is Houston. We're reading you loud and clear.
Okay, Dan. Dan, I believe we're about caught up with you now. We're on page 4-3 of the cap. And I think, let's see, Richard has gotten out of his suit and into his on-orbit togs, and I have not gotten out of the suit, but I need to get into my togs. You agree? I think what we'll do is go ahead and get our meal going here and just get caught up here with you.
Roger, that's a good idea. That's what we intended. We'll just lay low here and let you get comfortable. And we're going LOS here in about 50 seconds. And Columbia, Houston, we're 30 seconds from LOS. We'll be talking with you through Yergadi at 5 hours and 34 minutes.
Okay, we'll see you at Yergadi.
This is Shuttle Control Houston, 5 hours, 20 minutes mission elapsed time. A loss of signal now with Columbia on her 4th revolution. The next station to acquire will be Yergadi. Meanwhile, a call was made to Joe Engel and Dick Truly that we would defer the remaining ohms burns by 1 revolution, allowing Mission Control an additional time to better understand the power loads with Fuel Cell 1 offline. We're at 5 hours, 21 minutes mission elapsed time. This is Shuttle Control Houston. This is Shuttle Control Houston at 5 hours 33 minutes mission elapsed time, standing by now for reacquisition with Columbia through Yargady. This is a UHF station only. Columbia now on her 4th revolution.
Hello, Columbia. This is Houston talking to you through Yargady. We have you for 7 minutes.
Roger, stand by a second, Houston. Let me go upstairs.
Roger, Columbia.
That was Dick Truly responding to Capcom Dan Brandenstein.
Okay, Houston, if you don't have anything for us, I got a couple things for you.
Roger, Columbia. We don't have anything for you, so we're standing by.
Okay, the system won't seem to leave us alone here to get time to get squared away downstairs. We have had several fuel stack temp messages since fuel cell 1 is cooling down. We've also had some S66 water messages and cannot find anything on that spec that we see is wrong. We also kept getting cabin pressure warnings, and so I went to the ref book and I bumped the hardware C&W limit up to 15.4 psi on cabin pressure just so that we could turn the caution and warning off.
Roger, we copy that, Dick.
And just while I was talking, we got a couple of propellant thermal ohms messages on spec 89. It's the same parameter. It's the right bulkhead mid temp is indicating 49 degrees with a low arrow.
Roger, we copy.
And Dan, I'm sure you'll be interested to know, since I guess you haven't seen much TV, or maybe you have, the ohm spots and the tail looks real clean.
Roger, glad to hear it. We did see a little bit of it. Looked good to us, too.
Everything in the payload bay looks real good. There may be a little bit of frizzy out on the starboard side of the tail toward the bottom. It's in the shadow now, so I'm not sure about that. But the payload bay looks in excellent condition. And we have seen very little debris floating around either in the payload bay or in the cabin. A couple little washers in the cabin, but generally everything's real ship-shape.
Roger, glad to hear it.
You bet.
And Columbia, Houston, a couple things for you. We'd like the fuel cell 1 stack temp caution warning inhibited, and to get rid of that other message on for the ohms crossfeed on panel Alpha 14. We would like the RCS/ohms heater crossfeed lines Alpha to off and Bravo to auto.
Okay, the ohm switch has been done, and I will inhibit the fuel cell stack temp.
Roger, thank you.
But if DPS likes, we can do a air log reset for GPC3.
Roger, Columbia, you're cleared for that.
Okay.
And for the CDR, if he's available, or when he does become available, we'd like a report on the COAS, Cal, Delta bias, the star align torquing angles, and the star alignment time. No rush on that, but when you get around to it, we'll take those.
Okay. Okay, Dan, I'll be right up and get them for you.
There's no rush, Joe. We have 2 minutes and 50 seconds on this pass, and we can always catch it on a later pass.
Dan, I know we haven't had time to talk about it, but every second that we've had just... And we've really been having a lot of fun up here, even though there's sure a lot of ditties going on.
Roger, Columbia, you cut out on some of that, but we did get the update that you're having a good time.
You bet it. We're both feeling real well.
You guys must be tough.
Yeah. Okay, Dan, if you're ready to copy, I can give you the COAS and the IMU numbers now.
Roger, we're ready to go on those.
Okay, the COAS delta bias was 0.22. And on the check it was 0.11. And if you're ready for the IMU alignment, I'll start reading the pad to you.
Break. Just a second, Joe. Columbia, Houston, to get rid of that water message, we'd like you to open the inlet on water tank C.
Okay, we'll open the inlet on water tank C.
Okay, Joe, and we're 30 seconds from LOS. We'll pick up the rest of those IMU numbers when we get over Guam, and we'll be having you there in 5 hours and 48 minutes.
This is Shuttle Control Houston, 5 hours 41 minutes, mission elapsed time. Loss of signal now with Columbia. Next station to acquire will be Guam in approximately 7 minutes. This is Shuttle Control Houston. This is Shuttle Control Houston at 5 hours 47 minutes mission elapsed time, standing by now for reacquisition of Columbia through Guam.
Hello, Columbia, this is Houston. We're talking to you through Guam. We have you for 3 minutes.
Okay, Dan, reading you loud and clear, and I'll go back down and get my PDP and get those IMU numbers off to you.
Roger. Before that, we would like flash evap primary B on, please. That'll use up some of the water, and it'll also cool you down a little bit.
Okay, flash evap Bravo coming on. And Dan, do you want to take Alpha to off?
That's affirmative, Columbia. We'd like Alpha off.
Okay, you got it. And Houston, Columbia, if you're ready to copy the IMU log, I'll read them down to you.
Roger, Columbia. We're ready to go.
Okay, minus Y was 47, minus Z 31, and minus Z acquired at 3 hours and 49 minutes. The angle minus Y was 0.16 for minus Z. Delta angle was 0.06. Angle there was 0.00. For IMU1, X minus 0.10, Y plus 0.06, Z plus 0.08. For IMU2, X minus 0.04, Y plus 0.14, Z plus 0.03. For IMU3, delta X minus 0.11, Y plus 0.06, Z minus 0.08, and the execute time was 03 plus 52 plus 30.
Roger, Columbia. We copied all that, and we're 30 seconds from LOS. We'll be talking with you at Hawaii at 6 hours and 1 minute.
Okay, we'll see you there, Dan.
Roger.
And as we go over the hill, Dan, the CO2 absorber installation has been done.
Roger, thank you.
This is Shuttle Control Houston at 5 hours 52 minutes mission elapsed time. A loss of signal now with Columbia. Next station acquisition will be Hawaii in about 8.5 minutes. Shuttle Control Houston, now receiving data through Hawaii.
Hello, Columbia. This is Houston. We're talking to you through Hawaii.
6 hours mission elapsed time.
Okay, Dan, read you loud and clear.
Roger, we're reading you loud and clear also.
And Dan, what y'all thinking on ohms 3 and 4 now?
Roger, you must be reading Neil's mind. He was just giving me a brief. We are planning on doing ohms 3 alpha and bravo with the DTOs and 4, and we're also working up a fuel cell procedure to safe that a little bit further.
Good show, Dan.
Have you guys gotten a chance to eat your lunch yet?
Dan, I ate the sandwich that was in my pressure suit this morning, and I think Joe is down there maybe getting something for himself now.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I'm getting a TV set up. I'll grab a sandwich as soon as I get it done.
And Columbia, Houston, we're 30 seconds from LOS here at Hawaii. We'll be talking with you over the States in 6 hours and 9 minutes.
Okay, over the States at 6 hours and 9 minutes.
Roger, and if we'll have the pads ready when we get over there, and hopefully sometime over the States we can get you your ohms 3 alpha and bravo pad up.
Okay, Dan, we'll be ready to call then.
This is Shuttle Control Houston. It's 6 hours, 5 minutes mission elapsed time. Loss of signal now with Columbia. We will pick up over the States in approximately 3.5 minutes. This is Shuttle Control Houston. At 6 hours, 9 minutes mission elapsed time, now receiving data over the States.
Hello, Columbia, this is Houston. We're talking to you over the States. We have you for 15.5 minutes.
Roger, Dan, reading loud and clear.
Roger, and before we fire the pads your way, on panel A12, we would like the APU heater, gas generator, fuel pump. There are 3 switches there. We'd like them turned on. The bed temps in the APUs are getting low, and we'd like to warm them up.
And, okay, show me in down there now. APU heater, gas generator, fuel temp, 1, 2, and 3 to A auto. Is that it?
No, it's everything was right except it's fuel pump, and there are 3 of them to on.
Sorry about that. Gas generator slash fuel pump, is that right?
That's correct. There should be 3 of them.
Okay, there are 3 switches, and the choices are A auto, B auto, or off.
Columbia, we'd like A auto. Sorry about that.
Okay, all 3 of them are A auto, Dan.
Roger, and that's all I have for you right now, other than the ohms 3 alpha and bravo.
Okay, give us just a second.
Roger.
Okay, Dan, we're ready to copy the ohms pad.
Roger, we're going to have a state vector coming at you while we're doing this.
Okay.
Okay, on ohms 3 alpha. It'll be the left ohms. Trim load is plus 0.4, plus 5.1. Item 8 is NA. The weight is 222213. TIG is 0 days, 7 hours, 45 minutes, and 0 seconds. The PEG 7 target is delta VX plus 0010.0. Delta VY is all zeros. Delta VZ is plus 003.0. The burn attitude, roll 336, pitch 017, yaw 319er. Delta V total is 0010.4. TGO is 12 seconds. VGO and X is plus 0009er decimal 86. Y is plus 002 decimal 09er. Z plus 002 decimal 73. Target HA is 127. HP plus 120.
Okay, Dan, we got those, and would you like a read back now?
Well, we can read that back, or I can read you the next one, whichever your druthers.
Okay, you were a little scratchy. We're willing to wait on the read back.
Okay, for ohms 3 Bravo. It'll be a left ohms also. Trim load is plus 0.4. LY is plus 5.1. RY is NA. Weight is 2219er83. TIG is 0 days, 7 hours, 49 minutes, and 15 seconds.
Break, Dan.
Go ahead.
And Houston PLT, how do you read?
Roger, PLT, reading you loud and clear.
Okay, we're getting a loud background noise. Would you start again with the weight and try again?
Roger, Columbia, starting with the weight for ohms 3 Bravo. It's 2219er83. The TIG is 0 days, 7 hours, 49 minutes, 15 seconds. The targets, Delta VX is plus 0021.0. Delta VY plus all zeros. Delta VZ is negative 0.3. The burn attitude, roll 336, pitch 016, yaw 319er. Delta V total is 0021.0. TGO is 24 seconds, 0024. VGO and X plus 0019er84. In Y is plus 004.21. Z plus 005.49er. HA is 139er. HP is plus 120.
Roger, Dan, stand by 1.
Roger.
Okay, Dan, I think we got all those, and we can read them back if you've got time.
Roger, we have nothing else for you right now.
Shuttle Control Houston, 6 hours, 16 minutes mission elapsed time. That was Capcom Dan
Okay,
Brandenstein.
Dan. We'll come back with the readbacks for ohms 3 Alpha.
Roger, go ahead.
Okay, left engine plus 0.4 plus 5.1. Weight is 222213. Take time is 0 plus 07 plus 45 plus 0. Delta VX plus 0010.0. Delta VY is plus all zips, and Delta VZ is plus 003.0. Burn attitude is 336, 017, 319er. Delta V total 0010.4. TGO is 00 plus 12. VGO X plus 0009er, 0.86. Y plus 002.09. Z plus 002.73. And the altitude is 127 and plus 120.
Roger, that's all correct, Columbia.
Okay, coming at you with 3 Bravo. Left engine 0.4 plus 5.1 and NA. Weight is 2219er83. TIG is 0 plus 07 plus 49er plus 15.0. Delta VX plus 0021.0, Y plus, all zips, Z minus 000.3. The burn attitude is 336.016.319er. Delta V total is 0021.0. T-go is 00 plus 24. V-go, X plus 0019.84, Y plus 004.21, and Z plus 005.49er. Apogee is 139er, and energy is plus 120.
Roger, we copy all that, and that's all correct. One more note.
Shuttle Control Houston, 6 hours, 18 minutes mission elapsed time. That was Capcom Dan Brandenstein passing along
one more note on those burns.
and the return.
We would like to cancel the OHMS gimbal checks before OHMS 3 and also before OHMS 4. However, we would still like to do the one post OHMS 4. This will keep our power loads down a little bit before OHMS 3 and 4.
Okay, understand, Dan.
And that's all we have for you. We still have 6.5 minutes in this pass.
All right, sir. And Dan, I've got some more information for you on CRT-2.
Go ahead.
I went into the valve book, and as a matter of fact, let me get my notes out now and tell you exactly what I did.
Roger.
Okay, I went into mouth 5.4 echo, block 1, then block 2, then it sent me, I believe, to 5.4 Bravo, block 1. You might look at the mount book. I could not find the start of 5.4 Bravo, but you might could improve my thinking. At any rate, I did a GPC CRT and let go of CRT-3 since the power had been off CRT-2 for a while, and reassigned GPCs 2 and 4 to use CRT number 2. And so far, we are still using it, and there's no problem. Over.
Roger, we copy that, Columbia.
Houston, Columbia.
Roger, we copy all that, Dick.
Okay, Dan, and I understand that we are going to delete the TACAN tests shown at 6:05 and also at 6:40.
Roger, we're going to delete the TACAN test and also the cryo test or the PRSD test.
Okay, copy that.
And Columbia, Houston, just to give you a little foresight into what we're planning on doing on the fuel cell, we will have a procedure for you later. We're working it up now, but on fuel cell 1, what we plan to do is leave the reactant valves closed and then start up fuel cell number 1 and let it use the reactants that are in the system to run itself until all the reactants are used up. That way we get those two, the hydrogen and oxygen out of there and safe the fuel cell good.
Roger, Dan. Do you think we can recover the fuel cell for this later?
I don't believe we can.
Okay, well, we'll wait on you to figure out exactly what to do, and we'll be ready.
Roger, thank you. And Columbia, Houston, looking down the road, with this fuel cell being safe and not being able to start it up, we'll probably be looking at the minimum mission.
Okay, Dan, we understand.
This is Shuttle Control Houston, 6 hours, 22 minutes. That discussion between Dan Brandenstein and the crew aboard Columbia. He gave the crew a preliminary insight in a procedure that's being worked to turn on fuel cell 1, leave the reactants offline. This burns up the reactants. Everything inside goes and the fuel cell is finished. This is a conservative procedure to avoid reactant contact. This brings into play the mission rule that calls for a minimum mission, a 54-hour mission with one fuel cell permanently offline. We're at 6 hours, 23 minutes, mission elapsed time, continuing to monitor. This is Shuttle Control, Houston.
And Columbia, Houston, we have a minute 30 left. We have something for you.
Okay, go ahead, Dan.
Roger, in the PDP on page 4-5.
Okay, stand by.
Sorry, Columbia, that's a cap.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that, Columbia. It's 4-5 in the cap.
Okay, Dan, go ahead.
Roger, on page 4-5 in the PLTs column, that TV setup, you can delete that because that sets up for some scenes that would have been happening where we moved the Ohms burns to.
Okay, I understand.
And we're 30 seconds from LOS. We'll be talking with you at Ascension at 6 hours and 39 minutes.
Okay, I understand.
This is Shuttle Control, Houston. It's 6 hours and 25 minutes. Loss of signal now with Columbia. The next station to acquire will be Ascension in approximately 13 minutes. Meanwhile, when fuel cell 1 is taken permanently offline, this brings about the mission rule that calls for the minimum 54-hour mission. We repeat. This is Shuttle Control, Houston, at 6 hours, 26 minutes, mission elapsed time.
Hello, Columbia. We're talking to you through Ascension, and we'd like GNC CRT Spec 1 for variable parameters to send up to you.
This is Shuttle Control, Houston, 6 hours, 38 minutes, mission elapsed time. That was Dan Brandenstein talking to the crew of Columbia through Ascension.
Roger, thank you.
Mission elapsed time. That was Dan Brandenstein talking to the crew of Columbia through Ascension.
Roger, thank you.
On Columbia, we have you for 2 minutes and 30 seconds here.
Gotcha, Dan.
Columbia, listen, we have those variable parameters in. We'd like a resume and then an SM Spec 1.
stand by.
Roger.
Okay, Dan. FM spec 1 is on CRT 1.
Roger, thank you.
And Houston PLC, at the time of, like right now in the cap, you want the OEX power to on?
That's Columbia, that's Columbia.
Okay.
In Columbia, we got our parameters up. CRT is yours. We're 30 seconds from LOS. And we'll be talking to you at Botswana at 6:50.
Understand, 650. We'll see you there.
Columbia, Houston, as you go over the hill, if you can hear us, I'd like the OEX recorder off.
Okay, OEX coming off.
This is Shuttle Control Houston at 6 hours 41 minutes mission elapsed time. Loss of signal with Columbia. We will acquire Columbia again in 8 minutes and 20 seconds through Botswana. This is Shuttle Control Houston at 6 hours 44 minutes mission elapsed time. During this loss of signal period, we will pass along the ohms 3A and 3B burn parameters, as well as the ohms 4 burn parameter. For ohms 3A, time of ignition is 7 hours and 45 minutes is when it's scheduled. It will have a delta V of 10.4 feet per second, and burn duration 12 seconds. It would result in an apogee of 127 nautical miles by 120 nautical miles. For burn 3B, the time of ignition, 7 hours, 49 minutes, 15 seconds. A delta V of 21 feet per second.
burn duration of 24 seconds. It should result in an apogee of 139 nautical miles and a perigee of 120 nautical miles. Ohms 3A and 3B are two burns separated by 4 minutes, and they're part of the mission's detailed test objectives to find steady state operations by firing the Ohms engines, shutting down, then restarting 4 minutes later. The right engine only is used for the burns. Ohms 4, time of ignition, 8 hours 33 minutes 20 seconds. Delta V 34 feet per second. Burn duration 42 seconds. Ohms 4 should result in an apogee of 140 nautical miles and a perigee of 139 nautical miles. This burn will include a crossfeed test with the left Ohms engine only firing. We're at 6 hours 46 minutes mission elapsed time. This is Shuttle Control Houston. This is Shuttle Control Houston at 6 hours and 50 minutes mission elapsed time. Standing by now for a reacquisition of signal with Columbia through Botswana. This is a UHF voice station only.
Hello, Columbia. This is Houston. We're coming to you through Botswana. We have you for 2 minutes.
Okay, Dan, we're reading you loud and clear.
Roger, Columbia. We're reading you loud and clear also. And when you come up over Guam, we won't pass it here, but we do have a fuel cell procedure for you. And if you meet us at Guam with page 7-52 of your MAL open, we will give you that procedure.
Okay, we'll do it. Page 7-2 of the mouth.
What we'll be doing there is modifying this fuel cell power-up procedure.
Okay.
And Columbia, we'd like to isolate tank, water tank Bravo. On panel R12, we'd like the supply water tank Bravo inlet closed, please.
Okay, we'll get right up and do that.
And what we're trying to do, we think all the KOH is in there, we'd just like to keep it isolated.
Roger.
And Columbia, we were wondering if you ever got the teleprinter hooked up so we know whether or not we can send messages.
Dan, even as you speak, I'm hooking it up. Sorry it's late, but it's going to be ready for your next opportunity.
Okay, fine. That's all we needed to know. Thanks a lot. We got 30 seconds to LOS, and then we'll be talking with you at Guam at 7 minutes and 20 seconds. 7 hours and 20 minutes. There may be a quick short squirt at Yargity, but I don't think we'll get anything there.
Okay, Dan, we'll see you there.
This is Shuttle Control Houston at 6 hours 52 minutes mission elapsed time. A loss of signal now with Columbia through Botswana. The next station to acquire will be Guam in approximately 27 minutes. During the Guam pass, Capcom Brandenstein should pass along the procedures for taking the fuel cell number 1 permanently offline during that pass. At 6 hours 53 minutes mission elapsed time, this is Shuttle Control Houston. This is Shuttle Control Houston at 7 hours 17 minutes mission elapsed time. We're a little less than 3 minutes away now from reacquiring Columbia through Guam. During this Guam pass, we do expect Capcom Brandenstown to pass on the fuel cell procedures, to turn on fuel cell 1, leave the reactants off. This burns up the reactants. Everything inside goes and the fuel cell is finished. This is a conservative procedure to avoid reactant contact. By doing this, this brings into play the mission rule that calls for a minimum mission, a 54-hour mission, with one fuel cell permanently offline. We're about 2 minutes away now from reacquiring Columbia through Guam. We'll stand by and monitor. Shuttle Control Houston, 7 hours 18 minutes. We do expect this fuel cell 1 procedure to take place during the stateside pass, immediately following the burns of ohms 3A and 3B. Shuttle Control Houston, 7 hours 19 minutes, mission elapsed time, now receiving data through Guam. Columbia, Houston, coming to you through Guam. We're heading for 6.5 minutes. Roger, Dan, and I just initiated a altitude maneuver to the Alpha 38 burn altitude. We're still in Ops 2, and got the Malbook open. Okay, 2 things we'd like to get done this pass is to get that Mal squared away with you, and then give you your ohms 4 burn card, because you're going to be real busy over the States. Okay, getting over to the Malbook, 7-2, the fuel cell power-up procedure. What we want to do, you'll call up Spec 68, which is a cryo fuel cell, to monitor this. And this procedure applies only to fuel cell 1, obviously. Okay, on step 1, we want you to do everything except the bottom line. Delete fuel cell 1 react valve open. And then in step 2, we would like you to do the first step. Delete the fuel cell ready talkback turning gray, because we do not believe that it will turn gray. Then we would like you to add, when fuel cell 1 cool pressure is less than 10 psi, or 5 minutes after going to start, we want fuel cell 1 to stop. And then we'd like you to delete all of step 3. Okay, confirm for me these changes are to SSR6 on 7-52, is that right? Right, that's page 7-52, SSR number 6.
Okay, real quick, spec 68, we're going to use fuel cell 1, step 1, delete the last sentence about the react valve. Step 2, the last sentence, delete, the ready contact delete. And when fuel cell 1 fuel pressure less than 10 or 5 minutes after the start, we'll stop the fuel cell and delete step 3.
That is correct, and we'll be planning on doing that after Ohms 3 Bravo over the States. And if you have time, we still have 4.5 minutes on this pass for your Ohms 4 pad.
Okay, we're about to go ahead, Dan.
Roger, for Ohms 4, it'll be right Ohms burn. The trim load is plus 0.4. LY is NA. RY is minus 5.1. The weight is 221521. The TIG is 0.083320.2. The targets are Delta VX plus 0033.9er, Delta VY plus all zeros, Delta VZ negative minus 006.0, the burn attitude roll 029er, pitch 184, yaw 035. The Delta V total is 0034.4. T-go is 0039er. T-go and X plus 0032.50. Y minus 006.94. Z plus 008.9er. HA is 140. HP is plus 139er. On the bottom, the mid-burn cross speed, Delta V total of 017.
Okay, Dan, before I read this whole thing back, let me confirm that the V-go for Y was minus 006.94.
That's correct.
Okay, I got it. Then I'm ready to read them back if you have nothing else for us now.
Okay, we have nothing else.
Okay, the right engine burn. Pitch is plus 0.4. Yaw is not applicable, and the yaw is for the right engine is minus 5.1. Weight is 221521. TIG is 0 plus 08 plus 33 plus 20.2. Delta VX plus 0033.9. Delta VY is plus all bits. Delta VZ minus 006.0. And the burn attitude is 029. Pitch is 184. Yaw 035. Delta V total is 0034.4. T-go 00.39. V-go X 0032.50. Y is minus 006.94. And Z plus 008.99. Altitude 140, perigee plus 139. And the cross speed Delta V total 017.
Roger, your readback is correct. Columbia, Houston, we're 10 seconds from LOS. We'll be seeing you over the States and watching your burns at 7:42.
Okay, Dan, we'll be there.
This is Shuttle Control Houston at 7 hours 27 minutes mission elapsed time. Loss of signal now through Guam. The next station to acquire, the next acquisition will be over the States in approximately 15 minutes. This is Shuttle Control Houston. Houston time check. Another ground 1 and 2, testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, test off. Okay, good enough. It's your go. Continue for the pass. Thank you. This is Shuttle Control Houston at 3 hours 39 minutes mission elapsed time. About 3 minutes away from reacquiring Columbia over the States. The plan is continues for a minimum 54-hour mission. If the two fuel cells stay healthy and no other problems develop, consideration could be given to extending that time frame. However, the 54-hour plan gives the opportunity for moving the highest priority items ahead in the flight plan. The present plan is for a 54-hour minimum mission. We're at 7 hours, 40 minutes mission elapsed time. This is Shuttle Control Houston, standing by for reacquisition. Shuttle Control Houston, 7 hours, 42 minutes mission elapsed time. Standing by for acquisition with Columbia over the States. Hello, Columbia, this is Houston talking to you over the States. We have you for 13 minutes. Okay, Dan, we're just coming up on 2 minutes to the burn, and we're getting in configuration. You can watch it with us. Roger, and we have nothing for you. We'll just sit here and watch you burn. Good stuff. Houston, Roger, Columbia, reading you loud and clear. Roger, we're configured for the burn, about 106 to go. Columbia, Houston, we have no data. We'd like to see through the format that's fixed. Roger, it is fixed. Roger, thank you. 7 minutes, 44 seconds. Static data in the control center. Now receiving downlink data. Burn attitude looks good. Reports GNC. This is the Ohms 3A burn. Standing by. Should ignite momentarily. Report ignition and mission control. Okay, burn's complete, Dan. Roger, and look at that. Ohms 3A has been completed. And Houston PLT, the interior tank pressure decreased from 2080 to 1900. Are we still go? That's affirmative, Columbia. Your go. Seven hours, 46 minutes. We're about 3 minutes away now from the ignition of Ohms 3B. Okay, Houston, we believe we're configured for the Ohms 3 Bravo burn. Roger. Seven hours, 49 minutes, standing by now for the ignition start of Ohms 3B. The prop flight controller reports the ignition on Ohms 3B. Looks good. 7 hours, 50 minutes, mission elapsed time. Prop reports the burn has shut down. Columbia, Houston, the burns look good to us, and to keep you from falling asleep, we'd like to get into the fuel cell procedure now. Okay, dude, let me get back up there. I want that one from between the seats. Columbia now. We have about 5 minutes and 40 seconds left in the pass. Columbia now. Just from the info at shutdown, we had to take out, we had about a 0.54 residual MDX negative, and we took it out to 0.19. Roger, we copy, thank you. Columbia now, an apogee of 139 nautical miles, a perigee of 120 nautical miles. Okay, Dan, I think step 1 is verified complete. Roger, thank you. Okay, Houston, on my mark, I'm going to put the drill cell 1 start switch to start it, you ready? Roger, we're ready to go. Okay, 3, 2, 1, mark. And Houston, I'm going to be shutting it down when the coolant pressure equals 10, which is coming up here just a second. I'll give you a mark. Fuel cell pump pressure coming down, now reading 12. Okay, at Because I thought that it stopped reading 13 when it was reading 13. Roger, copy. And now jiggle back up to 14. Roger, Columbia, we'd like to keep it going until it gets down to 10. You got it, okay.
And Columbia, Houston, we got 30 seconds to LOS. Looks like we may have to go for that 5-minute limit on that. And we'll be talking with you at, looks like Botswana at, I'll make that, we'll see you at Quito at 7:56.
Okay, Dan, we'll see you there, and I'll be watching it closely.
This is Shuttle Control, Houston. 7 hours, 56 minutes mission elapsed time. Next station to acquire will be Quito, Ecuador. This is Shuttle Control, Houston. 7 hours, 57 minutes mission elapsed time. We've acquired signal through Quito. Yeah.
And Columbia, Houston, we're back with you at Quito for 2 minutes.
Okay, Dan, and we're coming up on 5 minutes now in about 8 seconds, and the coolant pressure is not going to get down to 10, so I'm going to shut it down here in 5 minutes.
Roger.
The pressure now reading 13.
Okay, I've put the fuel cell to stop.
Roger, thank you. And we do have a quick note here for page 4-5 on the cap before we lose you at Quito.
Okay, Dan, go ahead.
Roger, for the PLT, after the G3 to G2 transition, we'd like to add the following change prior to the SM62 PCMMU/payload com callout. And we'd like to add on panel C3, OI, PCMMU format to GPC, and then accomplish an item to execute called for on the PCMMU payload com spec 62.
Okay, understand. Go back to GPC on the format and do an item to execute on spec 62.
That's right, thank you. And we got about 50 seconds left here.
Okay, Dan, thank you.
And Columbia, we're 25 seconds from LOS. Now we'll be talking to you at Botswana at 8:24.
Okay, Dan, we'll see you there.
This is Shuttle Control, Houston, at 8 hours mission elapsed time. A loss of signal now with Colombia through Quito. The next station acquisition will come with Botswana in approximately 23.5 minutes. This is Shuttle Control, Houston.
This is Mission Control, Houston. About 45 seconds away from acquisition of spacecraft Columbia through the Botswana voice relay station. 2 active fuel cells that are still alive and well aboard Columbia are showing some 15.19 kilowatts in current. Fuel cell number 1 is showing 0, obviously. We'll stand by here for Capcom Dan Brandenstein talking to Eagle and truly aboard Columbia through Botswana.
Columbia, Houston, we got a real lousy pass here, and we probably won't talk to you to the States, but if you have anything quick, we got about 10 seconds here.
Okay, Dan, read you loud and clear. We're in ohms 4 burn attitude, doing fine, going to get the burn off.
Roger, Columbia, and we just nipped Guam and Hawaii, so the next really good compass we'll have is Buckhorn at 9:17.
Okay, we'll see you then. We're in good shape for the burn.
Roger, good.
This is Mission Control, Houston. Rather scratchy, limited communications through Botswana. But at this time, some 6 minutes away from ohms 4 ignition, the crew of Columbia reported being in attitude and preparing for that burn. We're 30 minutes away from the next station, which appears to be Guam. To clarify somewhat what constitutes a minimum mission, the 54-hour mission would not necessarily mean that we would automatically land in 54 hours, but move many of the critical flight plan items ahead into day 1 and 2. So that as at that time, the mission could be extended if things were looking well, a day at a time. The mission conceivably could run 3 days or 4, depending on how well the remaining 2 fuel cells operate. But the 54-hour minimum means just that. We're 29 minutes away from reacquisition through the Guam tracking station in the Western Pacific. This is Mission Control, Houston. Mission Control, Houston. Acquisition through Guam tracking station. A very low elevation angle pass, less than 3 degrees, about 2.2 degrees. And very short duration. We'll stand by in case the Capcom...
In Columbia, Houston, we're passing over Guam. We got a real low pass, but we might have you for about 50 seconds. How do you hear?
Read you loud and clear, Dan. Unclear, Dan, and the ohms 4 burn went just per nominal, and we're back in ops, just got back in ops 2.
Roger, thank you. And we're about 30 seconds from LOS. We'll see you at the States, and have your writing paper ready when you get there.
Okay, Dan.
Control Houston. A very brief exchange there between spacecraft communicator, our Capcom, Dan Brandenstein, and the crew of Columbia through Guam. 13 minutes until reacquisition through Hawaii. Again, a very low elevation pass. The bulk of the communications will be over the States through the Buckhorn and Goldstone and Tula Peak site, and almost immediately through Quito. After loss of signal at Quito, Neil Hutchinson's silver team of flight controllers will hand over to Don Putty's bronze team. We're looking at an estimate of 6:45 p.m. Central Standard Time for the change of shift briefing with Flight Director Neil Hutchinson in the main auditorium at JSC. We'll be back in 12 minutes. This is Mission Control Houston. Mission Control Houston, we do have acquisition through Hawaii, very low elevation angle pass. May not be any communications at this station.
Joe, both cabin heat exchanger end temps are high. Look at spec 88.
Roger, Columbia. We think caught part of that. We have you for about 5 more seconds.
Oh, okay. Okay, Dan.
And we believe it might be a water loop cycle.
Mission Control Houston here. We're in a gap now between Hawaii and reacquisition through Buckhorn. In approximately 2 minutes 30 seconds. Back over the Guam Pass, the crew reported that the OMS 4 burn was nominal, so Columbia should be in an orbit about 140 by 139 nautical miles. However, until the vector is established and display shows that, we have no confirmation on what the actual orbit size is. We'll stand by here for reacquisition of this final stateside pass of the evening. We have acquisition through Buckhorn, about 7 or 8 seconds ahead of predicted time.
Hello, Columbia. This is Houston. We're talking to you through Buckhorn. We have you for 6.5 minutes.
Okay, Dan, we got you loud and clear, and we're ready to copy. I guess one thing, our bath out temps are running a little high, and we did get a cabin high, or cabin heat exchangers running a little high.
Okay, we'll take a look at that. What we're going to do here is fire you up let you know what we're doing to the Timboos and give you some switch configurations. We're going to try and clean up some of these systems a little bit before we hand over to the other team. So if you're ready to copy, I'll let you know what Timboos are going to be sent. First, the OMS cross-feed bulkhead mid, we're going to lower the lower limit to 40 degrees. And then the cabin heat exchanger inlet temp, loop 1 and loop 2, we're going to change the upper limit to 80 degrees. And then we plan on inhibiting fuel cell 1 exit temp.
Okay, Dan, and I agree with all of those.
Okay, now over to cleaning up some of the switches. On the PCS configuration cleanup, on panel MO10W, we would like the PPO2 controller, system 1 to normal. And then on panel L2, we would like the O2 N2 controller valve, system 1 to auto.
Okay, mighty fine, Dan. That's going to auto now. Thank you.
Okay, and we also we got APU 3 off a little bit early, and we didn't get the MPS TVC ISO valve closed, so we have a procedure here to get that closed now.
Roger, Dan, stand by a second. Okay, Dan, PCS is configured, and go ahead with your, well, stand by just a second on your APU procedure. Houston PLT, I'm back in the front seat. Go ahead with your MPS procedure.
Okay, we're having just a little discussion on this. I'll give you another one you can write down on, and we'll get back with this APU one as soon as we get it clarified.
Okay.
Down on the WCS, we'd like you to, we show that the vacuum vent valve is closed, and we'd like that opened up. You can get that whenever you get to it.
Okay, say again which position you want it in.
Roger, we'd like the WCS vacuum vent valve to open.
Okay, we'll do it.
Roger. And we'd like to delete the interconnect ops. We're going to be leaving it as it is since you have to reconfigure right back for sleep period anyhow.
Okay, Dan.
And we would, we're quite curious as whether it managed to get the nozzle activated.
Oh, we were just getting ready to do that when we decided to wait and come AOS here and get these messages. We'll get it right afterwards.
Well, okay, we were just curious. We do have a couple opportunities coming up. We'll save that to the end, and if we don't get it, it's no problem. And this pass, you will be getting a test message for the teleprinter. We'll also be sending up the weather updates.
Okay, and tell us what the times are for the nozzles.
Okay, nozzle 1 is at 9 hours and 34 minutes. It's some thunderstorms over South America. And the other one is at 9 hours and 58 minutes. And it's thunderstorms over the tip of Africa. And these are both night passes. You have to use grading.
Okay, copy. And Houston PLT, you still with us?
Roger, we are.
Okay.
And Columbia, on the APU, the first one here is a switch cleanup, and that's on panel R2. We would like the APU hydraulic boiler controller power heater 3 to alpha.
Roger, Dan, 3's back in alpha.
Okay, and now I'll read you a procedure that we'd like to do over keto so we can watch it, and that's to get the MPS TVC ISO valves, ISO valve on system 3 closed. And that procedure is APU hydraulic circ pump number 3 to on, and that's on R2. Then on R4, we want the hydraulic MPS TVC ISO valve system 3 to close, talkback closed. And then back on R2, we would like the circ pump number 3 off, and then APU controller power, 3 of them, to off.
Okay, circ pump 3 to on. Close the number 3 MPS TVC isolation valve, then turn the circ pump off, and then turn all 3 controller powers off.
Roger, and we'll wait till we get over keto so we can watch you do that one.
Understand, I should wait until you tell me to do that procedure.
Roger, and we're 15 seconds from LOS, and we'll be talking to you at keto at 9:30.
Okay, Dan, we'll be prepared there to do this procedure.
Okay.
Mission Control, Houston. Loss of signal in the final pass this evening over the stateside station. We're 5.5 minutes away from reacquisition through Quito, Ecuador. The crew reported they were preparing to activate the night-day optical survey of lightning experiment called NOZLE in its acronym. 2 opportunities are coming up, one at 9 hours 34 minutes, thunderstorms in South America, and another at 9 hours 58 minutes, thunderstorms over the southern tip of Africa. We'll be back in 5 minutes 20 seconds through Quito. This is Mission Control Houston. This is Mission Control Houston again. Flight Director Neil Hutchinson now estimates 30 minutes from now to the start of his change of shift press conference in the main auditorium at Johnson Space Center, which will be a tad after 7 p.m. Central. Mission Control Houston.
Hello, Columbia, talking to you through Quito. We have you for about 7 minutes here.
Okay, Dan. We're building a nozzle now. We'll be right with you.
Roger.
And Houston PLT, if you've got something for us, we probably ought to knock off what we're doing with the nozzle and talk to you.
We don't have anything for you other than we'd like to see that APU procedure. Make it the circ pump procedure.
Okay. Give me a couple of minutes and I'll be up there and we'll do it.
Okay.
Okay, Dan, I'm halfway up here. You ready?
Roger, we're ready to go.
Okay, hydraulic circ pump number 3 is running, and I see a low pressure in system 3.
Okay.
And I'm going to close the MPS TVC isolation valve. Okay, and I've got a gray. If you agree that it's closed, I'll turn the circ pump off.
Roger, it looks closed to us. You can turn the circ pump off.
Okay, circ pump is off, and now I'm going to turn the 3 APU controller powers to off.
Roger, that looks good. A couple other little quickies. When you get a chance, we'd like the ops recorder info for where you did the GPC-3 memory dump. And when you get a chance, you can report on the status of the teleprinter messages just to make sure the thing's working.
Okay. I think Joe may go look down at the teleprinter messages and let me dig out those numbers from on the recorder.
Okay, and that's all we have.
Okay, Dan, you ready to copy on the recorder?
Roger, go ahead.
Okay, this is a GPC memory dump. It was Ops 2 recorder and record A. I was on track 5 moving forward. The percent of tape was 13. And the time at the start of the dump was 0 days, 8 hours, 47 minutes, and 50 seconds.
Roger, we copy that.
And Houston PLT, how much time do we have left in this pass?
Roger, we got about 1 minute and 20 seconds.
Okay, Dan, real quick, if you want to take 30 seconds, phase, because every time we...
Dick, be advised you're cutting out. Columbia, Houston. Columbia, Houston. Columbia, Houston. Columbia, Houston, we have no downlink and we're not copying you if you're reading us in the blind. We got 13 seconds to go to LOS and it finishes up for the Silver team. Enjoyed getting you up there and I hope you have a good night and a good tomorrow.
Mission Control Houston had a partial pass at least over Quito, but a dropout toward the end, the last 2 or 3 minutes of acquisition through Quito, Ecuador. And in his final uplink tonight, Capcom Dan Brandenstein was unable to raise the crew. The tracking site also was unable to get any kind of downlink from the spacecraft, so it was a loss of lock there. Flight Director Neil Hutchinson will be migrating over to the main auditorium shortly to hold his change of shift press conference in about 20 minutes from now. During a break in communications here between stateside and Quito, he congratulated his Silver team of flight controllers for a job well done in running the ascent into orbit and troubleshooting the fuel cell problem during the day. 19 minutes away from next station, which is Botswana, South Africa. This is Mission Control, Houston. This is Mission Control, Houston. The second participant in the change of shift briefing with Flight Director Neil Hutchinson will be Mr. Jim Riley of Johnson Space Center's Power and Propulsion Division. Neil is making moves toward leaving the control center, but still tagging up with the OIO officer. When we see him put his jacket on, that will be a good indication he's en route to the press center. 11 minutes now away from acquisition through Botswana. We'll be back at that time. Mission Control, Houston.
Columbia, this is Houston through Botswana for 5.5 minutes. Over. Columbia, this is Houston through Botswana for 5 minutes. Over.
Roger, Rick. How do you read?
Okay, Richard, we read you clear with a little bit of scratchiness. We did miss the last few sentences over Quito. You indicated you were going to be doing something, and we did not copy.
Probably we were going to build the nozzle, which we have built now and are trying to get it into operation.
Okay, that sounds good to us. As Dan was going over the hill, he wanted to pass from the Silver team that they enjoyed working with you, and we with the Crimson team are looking forward to spending the next few hours. Over.
Hey, you bet. They did a good job. They had a lot of stuff to work, and they really helped.
Okay, Richard, we just have one note over Indian Ocean Station, which will be in about 8 minutes. We'd like you to go down and get that teleprinter message that we'll be sending up to you then. Meanwhile, we'll let you go ahead and see if you can get that nozzle data take.
Okay. And Rick, the first teleprinter message you sent with the updates and the weather, the message did come through real good. The teleprinter seems to be working okay.
Okay, Joe, that's good to hear, and a correction to my last, there will be 2 teleprinter messages at Indian Ocean Station.
Okay, I understand. Rick, following along in the timeline here, disregard.
Roger.
Houston PLT.
Go ahead.
Roger, Rick. The opportunity for lightning on the African patch just didn't pan out as well as you might guess as the one that we saw in South America. We do have the nozzle built now, so if you can give us any forward notice about other opportunities, we'd sure appreciate it, because it does take a couple minutes to get set.
Okay, we understand, Richard, and we'll sure do that.
Hey, Rick. Oh, go ahead. Rick, I've got a question for you on page 4-7 of the cap.
Roger, we're there.
Okay, down at the bottom of the page, Rick, there at 950, we take the GPCs 3 and 5, bring them to off, and in that procedure there, we thought we'd let you have a vote before we did that because of the way we've been adjusting the timeline here.
Okay, we appreciate that opportunity. We'll be right back to you. And Columbia Houston, with 45 seconds to go in the pass, you can take GPCs 3 and 5 to off as indicated.
Houston, you got that? Understand it's okay to take the GPCs to halt and off? Over.
That's affirmative. Affirmative. 30 seconds LOS.
Okay, Rick. See you next time.
Mission Control Houston here. New Capcom on duty. Here with the bronze team is Rick Hawk, H-A-U-C-K. Dick Truly reported that they now had the night-day optical survey of Lightning experiment hardware assembled and was ready for any new viewing opportunities for Lightning around the ground track. Meanwhile, here on the ground, the press conference should be starting momentarily in the main auditorium. Off-going Flight Director Neil Hutchinson is en route. Fuel cell engineer Jim Riley will accompany him. Next tracking station in 3 minutes 30 seconds is Indian Ocean Station. We'll be back at that time. This is Mission Control Houston. Mission Control Houston. Getting data now through Indian Ocean
Columbia
ship.
Houston through Indian Ocean Station
that is.
for 4 minutes. Over.
Roger, Rick. How you doing?
Reading you loud and clear. We're coming up on air to ground 1.
Roger. Read you the same.
Roger, those teleprinter messages should be on their way shortly, and we've got some timeline changes on there along with a procedure.
Okay, we hear the thing at work, and we'll get to it.
Okay, thank you. And Columbia Houston, we do have a change to the PD correction to the cap on page 4-8 when you have a chance.
Okay, Rick, I'm right there. Go ahead.
Roger, on the bottom of the page, left side, the maneuver option, we'd like you to go to an attitude of roll 268.4, pitch 194.9, yaw 24.6, star pair will be minus Z star 17, minus Y star 21, and the reason for that change is it's a minimum maneuver from attitude you'll be in prior to that. Over.
Okay, the attitude 268.4, 19er, 4.9er, and 24.6. The stars are minus Z, star 17, and minus Y, star 21.
Roger, that's affirmative, Richard. And a reminder that we'll be deleting all the autonomous nav tests. Over.
Roger, and I think I copied. We did delete the, you did desire to delete the tail jet only test. That's correct, isn't it? One we should be in now if we were going to do it.
Richard, if we can do that, we'd like to do the tail jet only test. However, we were going to delete the autonomous nav test that follows on the next page. Over. However, it's not essential.
Okay, well, help me out. It's now 10:10. I misunderstood, I guess. I thought we were not to start the tail jet only test, and so I did not start it at 9:50. So strictly up to you. We have not started it yet.
We copy. We'll get back to you. Columbia, Houston, we will cancel the tail jet test, and we'll look at maybe doing it tomorrow. We got 50 seconds to LOS, and no problem with that.
Okay.
Columbia, Houston, 15 seconds LOS. Our next station pickup will be at Hawaii in 31 minutes.
Okay, Rick. See you there.
Roger.
Mission Control Houston, LOS through Indian Ocean Station. 30 minutes now until the next pass over Hawaii in 31 minutes. Mission Control Houston.
Columbia, Houston through Hawaii. Over.
Hey, Rick, reading you loud and clear. And real quickly, these stars, can you, the stars that you read up, 17 and 21, can you give me a time that they're good for?
We'll try to get that for you immediately and verify the roll 268.4.
Okay, 268.4, thank you.
Okay, and it's from 11:12 to 11:55. Over.
Gotcha, thank you, sir.
Okay, we'll see you next at Santiago in about 20 minutes.
Okay, and we'll have an IMU alignment for you there, Rick.
Very good.
And Rick, you wouldn't believe this. This is really pretty up here.
You really know how to hurt a guy.
You bet. No, it's really nice. We've been working, but it's really pretty sight.
Well, it's a real pleasure to see you all up there.
This is Mission Control Houston. 25 seconds from acquisition through Santiago, Chile station. Followed shortly thereafter by Botswana again. Both of these moderately high elevation angle passes in excess of 6 minutes in duration. We'll stand by for acquisition through Santiago.
Columbia, Houston through Santiago. We'll be with you for 5.5 minutes. Over.
Okay, Rick, we're with you. And we got half of our stars for the alignment. The Z Star Tracker has picked up his, and the Y Star Tracker is still fine.
Roger, and I'm sure that you opened the shutters on both of them. Is that correct?
Sure did. Thank you a lot for the hint, though.
Okay, we've got a... Go ahead.
We're a little early on the stars. Yeah, Rick, we're a little early on those stars. We'll pick them up here in a minute now.
Okay, we've got a variety of notes for you, none of them time critical, but if you've got time, we'll read them up to you.
Okay, Rick, we're ready for the variety.
Okay. If you could give us Spec 1 on a GNC machine, we'll send you some variable parameters. And also during this pass, we have some TMDUs to send up. Now, as far as the nighttime goes, our plan, just for information, is that we will spend the night with the evaporators off. We'll plan to deselect IMU number 3 and you can do that at any time. We are interested in whether you think you can sleep with the teleprinter operative or not. We also have a reconfiguration that we'd like you to do, and I'll give you a break here to comment. Over.
Okay, Rick, I understand you want both flash events off for the night. We will deselect IMU 3 here shortly, and I presume that means you do not want to include it in the star line that we're going to be doing here any minute now. And also, yes, I think Dick and I discussed it here briefly. I think that there won't be any problem sleeping with the teleprinter active.
Okay, and I misled you on the IMU. We would like you to align that in this alignment, and then after the alignment, you can deselect that.
Okay, understand.
That's purely to avoid the possibility of an RM message waking you up if it drifted beyond the limits. Over.
Okay, understand. Good thinking.
Okay, and CRT is yours. The TMBUs are on the way up. We do have a note on the water dump. In the Orbit Ops checklist, page 4-2, I can give you the notes if you have that out.
Will, in just a second. Okay, Rick, go ahead. Let's on page 4-2.
Okay, we'll, since the vehicle is already configured for the dump prep, you can eliminate that step 1, the entire dump prep. You'll perform the dump initiation after the IMU alignment that you're presently doing. And the quantities, if you will dump water tanks Charlie through Foxtrot to 65%. That's 65%. Continue on with the dump termination, which is step 3 on page 4-3. And we'd like to emphasize that step 4, tank reconfig, should not be done. We'll delete step 4. Over.
Okay, let me read it back. We probably won't have to do much on step 1, the dump preps, because we're in configuration. For step 2, we'll do the dump after we do the IMU line, and we'll take tanks Charlie through Foxtrot to 65%. We'll go ahead with step 3, and we will not do step 4, the tank reconfiguration.
Okay. That's a good readback, and that's, of course, to keep tank B isolated. One other question on your COAS. You'd indicated that you'd done your COAS cal with the using a flashlight. Just interest, did you intend to change out the light bulb, or are you happy with the flashlight method?
We have not tried the spare bulb, Rick. We're going to get to that, but we started the flashlight, and it turned out that they ended up using a reflection of the sun off the ceiling to get it. It really was kind of a unique thing that take a while to explain, but it worked real good.
Okay, your preference, of course, on that. One more item on your post-align attitude. The attitude specified in message 6 alpha will be a good attitude should you need to make the observation. We've got 30 seconds to LOS. Next contact is at Botswana in 16 minutes.
Okay.
And check DAP Alpha, please.
Okay, going to DAP Alpha.
Roger, that's all we've got.
Rick, one quick thing. Let's see, the post-IMU attitude message 6 alpha. Okay, thank you. We haven't taken that off yet.
Okay, good enough.
Mission Control Houston, LOS at Santiago. Reacquisition again, upcoming in 15 minutes through Botswana. Spacecraft communicator Rick Hawk passed up to the crew during the Santiago pass the configuration of all the switches and systems aboard Columbia for the upcoming sleep period, which is scheduled to begin at 13 hours elapsed time, some hour and 42 minutes from now. Returning in 14 minutes for Botswana. This is Mission Control, Houston.
Columbia, Houston, through Botswana will be with you for 6 minutes, over. Columbia, we have you for 2 minutes. Roger, Rich, and I have a question for you. Roger, go ahead. Yeah, we pulled off 6 Alpha off the teleprompter and noted that the time reference there was 10:15 MET. Is that time perhaps a different time, or do you want us to go ahead and maneuver to that attitude? I'm still in the Starline attitude until got a chance to talk to you about that. Okay, Joe, you can go there right now, no problem. On Columbia, Houston, I've got another note for pre-sleep for the planning for the night. If you ready to copy? Okay, sure enough, go ahead. Okay, we're going to ask you to do a slightly more of a power down for the sleep period. We'd like you to operate with just the one CRT that is nominal. In other words, verify 3 CRTs off for the sleep period. Ensure you've got minimum lighting, and also on panel R11, row hotel, we'll ask you to take the DFI, PCM, containers 1, 2, and 3, strain gauge signal conditioners to off. Over. Roger, Rick, and would you like to see those come off now? Richard, no, that's not important. It's in order to get us down to a power level which will permit us to run the host to pallet throughout the night, and I'm sure you'll be pleased to hear that we'll be able to do that. Okay, doke. Columbia, Houston, should there be any doubt, those are the 3 switches, PCM container 1, 2, and 3. 3 of them. Over. That's understood. And Houston, we're IMU alignment now. Do you want us to go ahead and start the water dump now? That's affirmative. Okay. Columbia. Go ahead. We're with you for 1 minute and 30 seconds. We're just wondering if sometime before going to sleep, if either over the loop or else on teleprinter, you could give us a rough idea of what your plans are now for minimum mission, so we can be thinking ahead a little bit also. Okay, Joe, I think if you care to review the minimum mission plan for day 2, that will be our plan for tomorrow. There may be minor mods, but we don't anticipate anything significant different from that. Over. Roger, Rick, we will review the minimum mission for day 2 and this evening. And also another thing that I'd be interested in would be, a short summary of the status of APU 1 and 3. Okay, that's certainly fair. We'll be with you for 30 seconds more. We'll pick you up at Indian Ocean Station in about 1.5 minutes, and we'll have you there for 8 more minutes. Okay, Rick, see you then. Columbia, Houston to Indian Ocean on air to ground 1, over. Go ahead, okay, Richard, we will get back to you responding to your request on the APU 1 and 3 status. We do have nothing else for you at the present time, and we'll certainly be working on a summary of the nights and the next day's activities should it appear like it will change significantly. Okay, Rick, we appreciate it, and stand by, we may have another thing to talk to you about. Hang on. Houston, TLC. Go ahead. Roger, I was in the process of doing the water dump, and when I tried to open the supply water dump isolation valve that should have gotten open, it was bubble pole and remained bubble pole. And down here on EML 86 Bravo, that circuit breaker is open on the main D supply water dump isolation circuit breaker. I configured this panel this morning and I believe that I closed every circuit breaker on that row, which is row alpha, except for the waterline heater D Bravo circuit breaker for the checklist. Over. Okay, we got that, Richard. We'll look at it and get back to you. Okay. And Ruth, until you get back with us, I'm going to go ahead and turn the dump valve enabled nozzle heater to off. Roger, and I'd like to verify with you the circuit breaker. Was that the main B supply ISO valve you were talking about? Well, just a second. Let me go back down and read it to you. Roger. Okay, Rick, it's the main B supply water dump isolation circuit breaker. Okay, we see that. Third one over on row alpha under main B. Thank you. That is correct. Columbia Houston will be with you for 3.5 more minutes. Okay, Rick. Columbia Houston, we have some TNBUs coming up to you. Okay, no problem. Columbia Houston, 30 seconds to LOS. Richard, we'll recommend that you reset that circuit breaker and attempt the procedure. Over. Okay, we'll do it. Okay, Rick, the circuit breaker is reset on it. Okay, Richard, you're breaking up. We'll see you next at Hawaii in 30 minutes. Okay, and check Z Star Tracker off. Roger that.
This is Mission Control, Houston. Lost some signal through Indian Ocean Station, 27 minutes away from acquisition through Hawaii. Back in the Hawaii pass, this preceding orbit. There was a private medical conference between Flight Surgeon Dr. Sam Poole and the crew of Columbia. Dr. Poole reports that the crew is feeling great, and they've neither asked for or had prescribed for them any medications other than the preventive motion sickness medication taken pre-launch. We'll be back in 26 minutes for Hawaii. This is Mission Control, Houston. Mission Control, Houston, at 12 hours, 17 minutes acquisition through Hawaii. Some 15 seconds earlier than predicted.
Columbia, this is Houston through Hawaii. We'll be with you for 7 minutes, over. Okay, Houston. We're out of here.
Columbia, this is Houston. We're coming to you through Botswana. We have you for 2 minutes.
Okay, we copy that.
Roger, Columbia, we're reading you loud and clear also.
Roger, we copy that, and you can get a ZLV at any time.
Procedure for you, and if you need us at Guam, 7-52 of your mail.
We do have a teleprompter message to come up. It'll contain some weather data and some TIG times. We're also interested in your IMU line information. Over.
What we'll be doing there is modifying the fuel cell power-up procedure.
Houston, PLC, to read me the fuel cell purge for number 2 and number 3 complete. I did it, young man. Okay, we read you dip, fuel cell 2 and 3 manual fuel cell purges. Thank you.
Tank Bravo inlet closed, please.
On Columbia, Houston, just for clarification, information, we will expect you to do manual purges on both 2 and 3 for the remainder of the mission.
Keep it isolated.
I have an answer to your questions on the APUs, Richard, and I'm prepared to tell you about that. Okay, APU-1 had apparently lost the GGVM cooling and probably has a gas bubble similar to APU-1 and 3 previously. APUs 2 and 3 showed nominal performance, except the water spray boiler on number 3 froze, and the freeze-up lasted longer than anticipated. We presently expect to have 3 good EPUs for entry And we're still working on the optimum start plan. Over. Okay, we'll continue soon that the reason the tip rose on APU-3 during the MPS dump was due to freezing up of the water spray bore. That's affirmed, and we expect that was thawed out after the APU was shut down. Okay, understood. Thanks a lot. Roger. A copy of our new results that wouldn't do that. Okay, and while you're reading that to us, we got a few command loads to send up to you. Okay, you need to step up. Negative, those are TMDUs, Joe. We'll adjust some limits. By the way, we think we might have caused a spec 66 water message. Last time we sent up some TMDUs, we transposed a high and a low limit. We're going to fix that now. Okay. And go ahead with the IOU line pad. Okay, sir. We're starting minus Y was 21, minus Z was 17. Let's see, for IOU 1, the delta X was plus 0.05, delta Y plus 0.05, delta Z minus 0.11. For IOU 2, delta X minus 0.25, delta Y plus 0.01, and Z plus 0.00. For IOU 3, X is minus 0.10, Y plus 0.14, and Z minus 0.26. Execute time was 0 plus 11 plus 20 plus 30. Okay, we copied that, Joe. And look, there's a word or two on the post just prior to AOS. We didn't quite get to finish it up, but we've been looking the bird over from the inside, and everything we can see looks real good externally. The tile are all good and in shape. We had that one discolored tile on the left part that looks kind of pinkish, as you're well aware. RTB light, but it's kind of on the leading edge down low. But everything else looks real good. Okay, thank you, Joe. And Houston PLT, we just got a Spec 92 power RSL message. Roger, we'll check on that. Roger, Spec 92, it says power RSL. The RSL reads 9, and I wasn't sure exactly what that meant. Okay, we see that, Richard, and payloads is taking a look at that. Thank you. Okay. And Columbia Houston, check that, eh? Okay. And Houston PLT, I'm back at R11. Let me go ahead and turn these container signal conditioners off now. Okay, Richard, we'll go for that. We'll be with you for another minute and 20 seconds. Okay, the 3 switches are off. And one other question, will you be ready for me to do an SM checkpoint after this AOS? Wait one, we'll get back to you. Columbia Houston, 30 seconds LOS. We'll have one more TMDU for you at Santiago. So I think we'd like to hold off on the SN checkpoint. Okay, no problem. We'll see you in Santiago in 19 minutes. Okay, we'll see you there.
This is Mission Control Houston. Awesome signal through Hawaii. Santiago, Chile upcoming in 18 minutes, which will be the final pass before the start of the sleep period on Ingo and Cooley's first day in space. Spacecraft communicator Rick Hawk updated the crew on
me and gave them a thumbs up that all 3 APUs ought to be up and running for entry. Not to worry. Back in 17 minutes for Santiago at 12 hours 27 minutes 4 seconds elapsed time. Mission Control, Houston. This is Mission Control in Houston. 12 hours 44 minutes mission elapsed time. We're about to make a pass over the Santiago, Chile tracking station, which is the last scheduled communication with the vehicle and the crew before the crew is scheduled to go to sleep in about 15 minutes. Flight Director Don Putty is checking with all the other subsystems to see if there are any outstanding questions, things that need to be resolved before the crew is put to bed this evening. Columbia, Houston through Santiago for 6 minutes, over. Roger, Rick. Howdy, Rick. We got you loud and clear. We have a few items for you. Also, we'll be waiting for your summary of where you all figured you were in the timeline. Okay, Rick, why don't you go ahead and get yours out of the way real quick? Roger, I wanted to verify you deselect IMU number 3, and also let you know that IMU number 1 is the best IMU. Also that your state vector looks like it'll be good for 7 orbits. Over. Okay, copy that, Rick. I just going to deselect, we will deselect IMU 2 before we turn in, and I just going to number 1 is our vector. Okay, one more thing. You mentioned your reflected power spec 92 message. You cut out on the amount that you read on that spec. Do you remember what that quantity was? At the time it was none. Right now it's indicating, looks like a -7. Okay, understand none. Next item, we wanted to verify that you're planning to leave the UHF on and transmit receive, over. And also we got a TMDU on the way up. Go ahead. Roger, Rick, we will leave the UHF on. And if that's all you have, I got a couple of quick questions. Go ahead. Okay, I changed out the CO2 absorber replacement. It's been pretty warm all day, and I propose we not connect the cabin temp controller in the full heat position. Do you think that's necessary? We'll get back to you on that. Okay, also I would like to inhibit the hardware C&W parameters 002, 012, and 092. Those are the 3 fuel cell 1 parameters that are leaving 2 lights on that C&W matrix that don't need to be there. Roger, we can prove that. Okay, and also right after this LOS, I'm going to put some comments on there about the SNCs and what we saw there, so you can take a look at that part of the recorder. Okay, we appreciate that. Anything else? No, sir, I don't think so. We will do the SM checkpoint after this LOS also. Okay, then we'd like to run a tape for you that came direct from the town of Forest, Mississippi. From the high school chorus there. It'll last about a minute, and we'll have about a minute after that to chat. Over. Hey, okay, Rick. Do it, please. On the way. That's it. Hey, Rick, that's beautiful. Please thank him and tell him I couldn't have had a nicer birthday than this one. Appreciate it. We'll sure do it. Couple more notes. We'd like you to check dot Bravo. Let you know the state vector and TNDUs are on board. We've got a gyro ballast going up. Also check the port RMS heater into auto. And you can terminate the water dump. The last item is a reminder that we're going to the no voice configuration on the recorders, data only. We've got 1 more minute to LOS. Okay, Rick, and we'll bring the flight to that off at this time, or deselect down U3 at this time so you can watch that. Okay, real fast. Rick, did you say you were going to data only, so it won't do me any good to record voice after this LOS? Roger, we'll leave it in voice record. Go ahead and put that on the tape, and we'll configure that at the next opportunity. Hey, okay. Thanks a million. Appreciate it. We appreciate the reminder. And a note from the Crimson team with 30-second LOS. We're real proud to see the team is Angle and truly airborne. We're looking forward to you having a good sleep, and we'll be turning you over to the bronze team. We'll see you in the morning. Okay, Rick. Thanks very, very much. Thank you, Rick, and you guys have a nice evening, too. Roger, voice is enabled on the recorders. Thanks, sir. Mission Control Houston, 12 hours 51 minutes mission elapsed time. The Columbia has just passed over the Santiago, Chile tracking station. The last scheduled communication with the vehicle before the crew goes to sleep. And we just heard a playing of a tape, Happy Birthday Salute by the Forest, Mississippi High School Chorus for Richard Truly on his 44th birthday today. And Forest, Mississippi is the hometown of Dick Truly's father and stepmother, Mr. and Mrs. James Truly. Today's been a rather busy day for the crew of Columbia. There were some remote manipulator system activities which were accomplished today. The RMS, the remote manipulator arm, was put in a temperature monitoring mode, and a shoulder brace release on the arm was performed. There were the regularly scheduled payload bay door activities, and the doors were successfully opened up and radiators deployed so that the Columbia could remain on orbit. There were some items which were left out of the timeline today due to a press of other activities with the fuel cells. The fact that there was one fuel cell which had to be shut down due to a malfunction. Some concern about the APUs, although we have heard now that all 3 of those auxiliary power units are considered to be healthy for entry. A decision had been made on the basis of the problem with the fuel cells that we would move tomorrow after 1 day and 4 hours mission elapsed time into the minimum mission crew activity plan, which is basically a 54-hour mission about the length of STS-1, which compresses and moves many of the activities up early in the mission in order to get those of primary importance completed first in the event that we should have to bring it down early. There was the possibility that we might have to return. The vehicle would be entering and landing on Saturday afternoon if it were necessary, and the decision were made to cut the mission short. However, it has been emphasized that there is the potential for continuing on a day-by-day basis through possibly the end of a normal 5-day mission. Among the activities that were moved up and will be moved up earlier are several involving the reaction control systems, the small rocket engines down in the nose and the tail of Columbia, which control its attitude while on orbit. Those have been moved up earlier. The Asta-1 payload bay experiments have been working well. The most obvious of those is the big Sur-A radar antenna, the side-looking radar antenna. And Dr. Charles Elachi, the principal investigator on that, reports that his instrument is working fine, and there have been several data takes during the day today. There was some interference and some replanning necessary because of the fuel cell problem, but they do expect to get quite a bit of data in spite of that problem. At 12 hours, 55 minutes mission elapsed time, this is Mission Control, Houston. Mission Control with Houston, 14 hours mission elapsed time. Crew is in their sleep period, about 6 hours and 50 minutes remaining in that time period. They may be finding it difficult to get to sleep on orbit, while STS-1 astronauts Young and Crippen reported that sleeping in zero gravity is like sleeping in a 360-degree waterbed. They also noted that it's Columbia, Houston, coming to you through Guam. We have you for 6.5 minutes. Every hour and a half, and more than half the time initiated around the Earth. Attitude maneuver to the L3A burn attitude. We're still in altitude, and got the mailbook open. Go to sleep. Okay, two things we'd like to get done this pass is to get that Malc square away with you, and then give you your OMS 4 burn card, because you're going to be real busy over the States. Okay, getting over to the Malbook 7-2, the fuel cell power-up procedure. What we want to do, you'll call up Spec 68, which is a cryo fuel cell, to monitor this, and this procedure applies only to fuel cell 1, obviously. Okay, on step 1, we want you to do everything except the bottom line, delete fuel cell 1 react valve open. At 14 hours, 1 minute mission elapsed. Then in step 2, Control, Houston, we would like you to do the first step, delete the fuel cell ready contact 14 hours, 4 minutes mission elapsed. Do not believe that it will turn gray. Crew is in their and we would like period and has about 6 hours, 45 minutes remaining in that time. Pressure, attempting to get to sleep on orbit after a busy and exciting day, the first flight of the STS-2, second mission of Columbia, first day of that flight. They may be finding it difficult to get to sleep with the sun streaming through the cabin windows as it does more than half of each orbit as they circle the Earth. Although astronauts Young and Crippen on the first flight reported that sleeping in zero gravity is like sleeping in a 360-degree waterbed. Crew is sleeping in their ejection seats on the flight deck, which will be the standard practice during the OFT program. 14 hours, 4 minutes mission elapsed time. This is Mission Control, Houston. And when fuel cell 1 kilometer pressure less than 10 or 5 minutes after the start, we'll stop the fuel cell and delete step 3. That is correct. And we'll be planning on doing that after OMS 3 Bravo over the state. And if you have time, we still have 4.5 minutes on this pass for your OMS 4 pad. Okay. We'll copy. Go ahead. Roger. For OMS 4, it'll be right OMS burn. The trim load is plus 0.4. LY is NA. RY is minus 5.1. The weight is 221521. The TIG is 0. 08. Mission Control, Houston, at 15 hours, mission elapsed time. 2. The orbiter Columbia is on its 11th orbit. Plus 0033. Second flight of the orbital flight test program. Crew is well into their sleep period now, although there was some indication about 20 minutes ago as they passed over one of the ground tracking stations that they had perhaps used the water gun on board, getting a drink of water before turning in, and that they had used some of the equipment on board to set an alarm to wake them up in the morning. So they're perhaps just now getting to sleep. Ego and X. plus 0032. It appears that we will be operating the Alpha 1 instruments during the night. There's been some concern earlier with some reflected transmitter power on the survey.
008 decimal
appears to be, have been resolved and should be operating those instruments automatically or from the ground during the night.
Plus 139er. On the bottom, the mid-burn cross speed, delta V total of 017.
This is Mission Control Houston at 16 hours mission elapsed time. Columbia is on its 12th orbit around the Earth and is now passing over the southern part of South America. Over the Santiago, just past the Santiago, Chile tracking station.
Okay, we have nothing else.
Flight controllers here in Mission Control are busy working on updates to tomorrow's flight plan. Tomorrow promises to be a busy day as we condense and compress some of the activities going into the minimum mission flight plan. The crew has about a little less than 5 hours remaining in their sleep cycle tonight. The cabin temperature is approximately 88 degrees, although it's perhaps not quite that warm where the crew is. Depending on the location of that sensor is probably in a slightly warmer location than the spot of the cabin where the crew is at the moment. Humidity in the cabin is shown as 34%. 16 hours, 1 minute mission elapsed time. This is Mission Control Houston.
035. Delta V total is
Mission Control Houston, 17 hours mission elapsed time. Columbia on its 12th orbit. Just passed out of range of the Guam tracking station. Crew continues to sleep and has a little less than 4 hours remaining in their sleep time. Flight controllers and Mission Control continuing to monitor the vehicle and the condition of all the systems. Everything appears to be nominal at this time, and the ASTA-1 instruments continue to take data as their targets of opportunity arise. At 17 hours, 0 minutes mission elapsed time, this is Mission Control Houston.
That is correct.
Mission Control Houston, 18 hours, 0 minutes mission elapsed time. Columbia on its 13th orbit. Crew has about 2 hours and 50 minutes remaining in their sleep period. Flight controllers here in Mission Control are busily engaged in updating the flight plan for activities to begin just a few hours from now.
Columbia, Houston, we're 10 seconds from LOS.
0 minutes
We'll be
elapsed
seeing you over
time.
the
This is
States
Mission
and
Control
watching your
Houston.
burns at 7:42. Okay, Dan.
Mission Control Houston at 19 hours mission elapsed time. The flight control team change of shift has just about been completed with the Crimson team of Flight Directors Don Putty and Harold Ron passing over to the Bronze team headed by Flight Director Chuck Lewis. We have a change of shift briefing for the outgoing flight control team scheduled at approximately 4:40 a.m. this morning. The crew has about 1 hour and 50 minutes remaining in their sleep period, and then we'll await to face a revised crew activity plan that has been put together here this evening in Mission Control for a full day of activities later today. At 19 hours mission elapsed time, this is Mission Control Houston. This is Shuttle Control at a mission elapsed time of 19 hours, 26 minutes. Flight Director Don Putty now estimates his change of shift briefing will begin at 5 a.m. Central Standard Time. Change of shift at 5 a.m. Central Standard Time in room 135 of the JSC News Center. This is Shuttle Control at an elapsed time of 19 hours, 40 minutes. Flight Director Don Putty has left the control center en route to the News Center for the change of shift briefing, which is estimated to begin at approximately 5 a.m. Central Standard Time accompanied by Flight Director Harold Drawn and Flight Activities Officer Tucker Pierce. Change of shift briefing. We'll be in room 135 at the Johnson Space Center News Center. There's 1 hour, 9 minutes remaining in the crew sleep period. At 19 hours, 41 minutes mission elapsed time, this is Shuttle Control, Houston. This is Shuttle Control at a mission elapsed time of 20 hours, 38 minutes. Columbia's on its 15th orbit of the Earth, about a half a minute away from acquisition through the Quito, Ecuador tracking station. Still about 10 and a half minutes left in the crew's sleep period. Normally we would send a wake-up call at Bermuda. At that time, however, Flight Director Chuck Lewis has decided to make the wake-up call at Madrid, which is in approximately 20 minutes. There's always a chance that the crew will be awake and give us a call at either Quito or Bermuda. We'll stand by through those stations in case they call us, but we do not intend to call them until Madrid acquisition in 20 minutes. At 20 hours, 39 minutes mission elapsed time, this is Shuttle Control, Houston. This is Shuttle Control at 20 hours, 54 minutes mission elapsed time. Bermuda has loss of signal. Next station is Madrid in 5 minutes.
Houston contact. Bonetta down 1 and 2.
Notice
1, 2, 3,
on the data
5, 4.
whose alarm clock had gone off aboard Columbia.
1, test out.
And along toward the end of this pass, they were greeted with
Good enough.
peaks
Good
in
go.
space.
Take it to the pass. Thank you.
Responded just prior to LOS. We'll talk to them again at Madrid. 20 hours, 55 minutes mission elapsed time. This is Shuttle Control, Houston. This is Shuttle Control at 20 hours, 59 minutes mission elapsed time. Columbia is about 30 seconds away from acquisition through Madrid. Capcoms on this bronze shift are astronauts Jim Buckley and Sally Ride. We'll stand by for conversation through Madrid.
Columbia, Houston, we're with you through Madrid for 6.5 minutes. Okay, Houston, where's your loud and clear? Okay, Joe, we've got you loud and clear also. We're going to be sending a GMAM up to clear the SPC buffer here at Madrid. It got locked up during the night and we want to clear it so we can use it. Okay, Jim, do you need a backup? Negative. No actions required on your part. That was info only. And we did send some teleprinter messages during the night. If you've had a chance to look at them and have any questions,
Columbia, this is Houston talking
we're ready to talk about them.
We have you for 13 minutes.
Okay, Dan, we're just coming up on 2 minutes to the Jim, we got them off, and let's see, I've had a chance to scan over the flight cadet procedures only very quickly. I'd like to go over them again here before talking about it in detail. Okay, no problem. We can talk to Ed Yargety. The flash evap message calls out for a time of 21:04. That's not critical. There's no problem with delaying starting that. Okay, well, that's no problem. I'll go ahead and do that. It was just the summary that I had no chance to work out. I'll go ahead and do the flash evap stuff at 21:04 on
We have no data. We'd like to unsee 3 to 4 minutes.
Roger, we copy. And Jim, after we're over with Madrid, did you go for this in checkpoint?
Stand by.
Columbia, Houston, in regard to the SM checkpoint, we've got some DEU equivalents that we're going to need to do, so we'll give you a call when we'd like the SM checkpoint, and we won't need one at this time. Okay, Jim. Jim, I did get the message about the RMS. I believe I understand what you want today. Okay, real fine. Columbia, Houston, we're ready with those DEU equivalents at this time. If you could give us a spec 60 and a CRT of your choice, we'll send them up. And Houston PLT, the M2 tank is 2080 to 1900. Okay, Jim, we just passed over Rhoda, didn't we? We surely did. That's affirmative, Columbia, your go. Columbia, Houston, we see that you've given us spec 60 on CRT2, and we'll send them up if that's all right. Okay, Jim, and incidentally, I'm sure we got a number of phone messages during the evening, and I'm assuming that you got those on the down list, and I understand them all, so no sense in talking about them. The only one that we didn't really understand was we did get one on the Surrey, I believe. And it looked like after that it got corrected either by the system or by the payload doctor. That's affirmative, we did fix it after that. Columbia, the only one that we don't understand right now is the S66 water message. Did you take a drink or something at that time? Well, we got a whole bunch of S66 water messages, and I don't remember any that we didn't understand. There was, we had been, down in the water down there. I think we'd like to get into the fuel cell procedure now. Okay. Okay, Dan, let me get back up there. I watched that one from the top. Jim, I'll tell you, this sure beats working for a living. Roger, we have about 5 minutes and 40 seconds left. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, actually, we didn't get a, well, we did get a pretty good sleep last night, but hard to sleep with all the opportunities to watch those. And also, the teleprompter did not bother us at all. Okay, we copy. We're about 1 minute from LOS. Yargity is next at 2133. Be advised, just as a reminder, that we see both of the Star Tracker shutters closed. And for info, the DEU equivalent that we were doing there is the EPU tank valve, and it's complete. Okay, thank you, Jim. Thanks for the reminder on the doors. We'll get them open. Roger, going over the hill, you'll go to the checkpoint. Hey, okay, Jim, we'll get it. Shutting it down when the coolant pressure equals 10, which is coming up here in just a second. I'll give you a mark. This is shuttle control. Madrid has loss of signal. Next station to see Columbia is Yargity, Australia. Okay, it says I said that 27 minutes. When it was reading 13. Columbia's current orbit, 139 by 138 miles, with an orbital period of 1 hour, 29 minutes, 41 seconds. We'd like to keep it going until it gets down to 10. You bet, okay. At 21 hours, 7 minutes, mission
Elapsed time. This is Shuttle Control, Houston. This is Shuttle Control at 21 hours, 33 minutes. That's time. Columbia coming up on acquisition through the tracking station at Yargity, Australia.
Columbia, Houston through Yargity for 8 minutes. How do you read?
Loud and clear, Jim.
Okay, I've got you loud with a little background noise, but you're readable.
Roger, Jim, and how do you read the PLT?
PLT, I read you the same way. You're loud, slight background noise, and readable.
Checkpoint, and I'm presently typing into the table to set up for the three-system interaction test.
Columbia, Houston, in regard to the three-system interaction test, teleprinter message 9 Echo, which was the cap update, I believe we called to delete that. It's on line 13 at 2135. We're going to delete that at this time. Columbia, Houston, how do you read?
We read that last transmission okay, Jim. You are cutting in and out, though.
Okay, did you copy that we're going to delete the three-system interaction test at this time? We may reschedule it.
You bet. We copied that. We have a few words for you on Flash Evap if you're ready to copy.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Actually ready to listen. There won't be much copying. Jim, we tried the procedure on the teleprinter message, and the evap out temps were 61 and 60 for left and right, respectively. We implemented the procedure, and about 1 minute after we did implement we turned Flash Evap system primary ADA on, the evap out temps started down and they bottomed out at about 47 degrees. They bottomed out and started right back up again, and at about 1+30 after the evap was brought online, the Flash Evap was brought on, then they went right back up to about 61 and 62 degrees again.
Okay, Joe, we copied that.
Jim, as you can see, the Freon loops 1 and 2, the evap out temps now are riding at about 58 and 57 degrees for 1 and 2, respectively.
Roger, 57 and 58.
58 for loop 1, 57 loop 2. And use
Roger,
the
we
PLT.
copy. Go ahead, PLT.
The teleprinter, when we thought they were all up, but I'll go down there and check and make sure we got them, because we didn't see the one that deleted the interaction test, although that's no problem. And we can start it up for you anytime you like.
Roger, that the message 9 Echo, you really need to get a hold of and take a look at it. We've got some new IMU alignment attitudes we'd like you to use on that message.
PLT, how do you read?
Read you loud and clear. Go ahead.
Okay, Jim. They probably passed it on to you, but we did not pin the cabin temp controller in the full hot position last night, so we don't need to even change it this morning. And incidentally, the temperatures were fairly comfortable. Joe and I did put on a jacket, but we were not hot or cold.
Okay, copy. You were comfortable.
It's affirmative, and also the interconnect left on star CS was established on time.
Columbia, Houston, how do you read?
Read you loud and clear, Jim.
Okay, we'd like you to do something else for the FES at this time. We'd like you to take primary A off and primary B to on, and then go back through and redo the FES flush procedure again and see if that'll help. Columbia, Houston, how do you read?
Roger, Jim. Reading you loud and clear.
Okay, in regard to the FES flush procedure, there's no need to go back and do that procedure again, but we would like you to get on primary B, turn the A controller off, and then see what happens.
We'll give her a try.
Okay, and we're about 40 seconds from LOS. We'll pick you up at Aurora Valley at 2141.
Okay, see you there.
This is Shuttle Control. Yargity has loss of signal. Very noisy communications through that ultra-high frequency station. We'll have acquisition through Auroral, Australia momentarily.
Columbia, Houston's with you through Aurora Valley for 5 minutes.
Okay, read you loud and clear, Jim. And flash of VAP B has brought the VAP out temps down to 43 and 42 respectively, and they look like they're holding pretty steady.
Okay, that's outstanding. Columbia, Houston, were you able to find that IMU align attitude called out in message 9?
We just got it, Jim.
Okay, real fine. The reason we'd like to do that is so that we can get a better handle on IMU-3. It's drifting fairly erratically, and we'd like to keep our alignment attitudes as close to a constant attitude as we can so we can get better data on IMU-3.
Okay, fine, Jim. And would you like that attitude for the current alignment? I've currently maneuvered to the alignment for the cap. Do you want me to get alignment here and then go to the new attitude?
No, we'd like you to use the new attitude at this time.
Okay, you bet your life. We're on our way.
Columbia, Houston, we're about 40 seconds from LOS. We'll see you stateside next at 2217. And for info, all of the IMU alignment attitudes called out in the cap, we'll be updating those to you so that we can keep the vehicle attitude as close to being constant as possible. And again, the same rationale applies. We're trying to get some data on IMU-3.
Okay, Jim, we'll copy that. And if any of those, any of the stars that we're going to are applicable for a threshold verification test, and you want to plug it back in, why, feel free to do so. We can tag it on to the end of an IMU alignment. It's real easy.
Okay, we'll think about that. Thank you.
And Houston PLT, if you don't object and we're a little bit ahead, we'll go ahead and do the RMS pre-deploy check out and report to you at Madrid. I'm sorry, at the States.
Okay, that sounds fine.
Okay.
This is Shuttle Control. Auroral has loss of signal. Next station is Merritt Island, Florida, in about 30 minutes. Astronaut Dick Truly reporting that the temperatures in the cabin were comfortable during the night. And the systems engineers here in the control center reporting to Flight Director Chuck Lewis that all their systems were looking good as Columbia lost acquisition through the Aurora, Australia station. At 21 hours, 48 minutes mission elapsed time. This is Shuttle Control, Houston. This is Shuttle Control at 22 hours, 16 minutes mission elapsed time. Columbia is on orbit number 16 and is approaching the coast of Central America. We should have acquisition through the Merritt Island tracking station in about 30 seconds. We'll stand by.
Columbia, Houston with you stateside for 11 minutes.
Okay, Jim. We're with you and pressing on through the timeline here. We've completed the IMU check. And Jim, for the teleprinter message, I did turn off flash of Prime B during this Surrey pass. If you want it back on, let me know about what time you'd like it reactivated.
Okay, we copy that.
And Jim, I'm on page, just off of page 1-2 in the pre-deploy checkout and PDRS. One question, under RMS activation, it says check the wrist roll range item 26 to be a 4. It turned up that it was a 3, and I did an item 26 plus 4 execute to make it match the checklist.
Okay, we talked about that earlier, Dick. 3 is acceptable, no problem there.
Okay, is 4 acceptable because I've already typed that in?
Right, that's no problem.
Thank you, Jim. In Houston, the IMU alignment results are available when you want them.
Okay, we're ready. Go ahead.
Okay. Minus Y was 21, minus Z is 17, and the angle error was 0.01. For IMU 1, delta X minus 0.01, delta Y minus 0.02, and Z plus 0.05. For IMU 2, X is minus 0.11, Y minus 0.00, Z plus 0.06. And for old IMU 3, X was minus 0.10, Y plus 0.18, and Z minus 0.46. And the execute time was 0 plus 21 plus 58.
Okay, we copied that.
And we did run a threshold verification on Z just because it was sitting there, and on star 17, and the acquisition threshold was 3.
Okay, mighty fine. Thank you. Columbia, Houston, in regard to the flash evap, we've got no problems with turning primary B back to on. We'd like to do it at this time so we can watch it, and there's no problem with doing that simultaneous with Surrey data takes.
Okay, mighty fine, Jim. I had turned it off, reference teleprinter message 009 Echo in line 23, but it's back on now, and temp should be coming down shortly.
Okay, we copy.
And Houston PLT, question on page 1-4 PDRS. I've rechecked all the switches, and in parameter select to test, I do not get all 8s on the indicators, nor all the panel AA lights come on.
Okay, we copy.
And I am aware of the 30-second limitation on the test position.
Roger that.
And incidentally, the singularity light and the reach limit light are on, so the panel is certainly powered.
Okay. Richard, in regard to those lights on A8, can you recall whether or not these are the same lights that you had to push back in after ascent?
No. When I go to test, I should get all 8s on the indicators and also all the panel AA lights on. There were only 2 of the annunciator panel lights in the center that were popped out a little bit.
Okay.
And Houston, one more piece of information. When I do move the parameter rotary switch from port temp to the other positions, I do get indications on on the indicator light.
Okay, we copy that. Columbia, Houston, we'd like you to verify that you're using the rotary switch and go to parameter select to test.
Roger, let me try it again. Hang on. Okay, I tried again right there and it worked.
Okay, understand it did work.
That's affirmative, and so I've completed page 1-4, and the pre-deployed checkout checks out good.
Okay, mighty fine. Columbia, Houston, we've also noticed a little while back that you've got spec 66 hung up on CRT-3. That means that you only have one roll-in spec. We'd like you to assign and clear it, and I've got some steps to follow if you want me to read them to you.
Okay. Boy, I sure thought I cleared that spec, but I'll take another look at it and I know how to do it.
Okay, let us check to see if let's see if it's still there.
And Houston PLT, are we going to need a supply water dump this morning?
Columbia, Houston, no dump will be required.
Okay, and I forgot to tell you I did get a good purge on fuel cells 2 and 3.
Outstanding, thank you. Columbia, Houston, in regard to spec 66 on CRT-3, Richard, the last time we could take a look at it, we saw that spec on there, and if you've cleared it, there's no reason to go back and try that again.
Okay, thanks for the reminder, Jim. I'm almost certain that I did clear it. If we begin to run into problems that indicates it's there, I'll clean it up. But I think it is no longer there.
Okay, mighty fine. Columbia, Houston, we're watching the FES Controller B. Looks like it's doing a good job for us, but if for some reason you need to back out of that and you have a problem with the temperature going back up again, you can go to rad norm and primary B off.
Okay, Jim, I caught all that, but go to rad what?
Rad to normal.
Oh, roger that. Gotcha.
Columbia, Houston, we're about 1 minute to LOS. Madrid is next at 2234. And be advised, we'll be doing a ground low power test at Madrid. So if the comm comes in a little bit low or different, it's not an onboard problem. It's something that we're doing from the ground.
Okay, thank you for the warning, Jim. Roger, Jim, and we just got an S68 fuel cell message, and I looked at it. I don't see anything wrong there other than fuel cell 1 indication.
Okay, we copy. We'll take a look at it. And going over the hill, fuel cells 2 and 3 look okay to us on the ground.
Good show.
This is Shuttle Control. Bermuda has loss of signal. During this pass, Dick Truly reported good purges of fuel cells 2 and 3. Those fuel cells look good to the engineer monitoring them here in the control center as we lost signal. The next station to see Columbia will be Madrid in 4.5 minutes. At 22 hours, 29 minutes mission elapsed time. This is Shuttle Control, Houston. This is Shuttle Control. We have acquisition at Madrid.
Columbia, Houston, we're with you through Madrid for 6.5 minutes.
Okay, Jim. Read you loud and clear. We're setting up cameras and working our way right along.
Okay, outstanding. And if you've got someone that can copy down a update for the cap, and I've got one message I need to get to you this pass. If someone's available, let me know.
Be with you in just a minute.
Okay.
What page on the cap are you going to want, Jim?
Okay, the first one is page 4-17.
Okay, Jim, we're both looking at 417.
Okay, and if one of you can get back to panel R11 before we start any cap changes, I'd like to get some switches in. We've got PCM container 1, 2, and 3, SGSC, main A, main B, and main B that we'd like put back in because we want to...
Roger, they are on, Jim.
Okay, we want to get a tire pressure readout at Madrid, that's why.
Okay, and go ahead with cap.
Okay, and before I start that, you're go to deactivate the Surrey, and that's called out at 22 plus 22 in the cap. And on page 417, I have a Surrey update for you.
Okay, Jim, go ahead.
Okay, the on time is 23:50:15, and the PRF gets changed to 22. The cal changed to 13. Off time will be 00:00.
Okay, copy. The on time is 23 plus 50 plus 15. PRF is changed to 22, and the cal is 13.
Roger, and did you get the off time on that as being 00:00?
Yes, we did. Off time 00:00.
On page 4-19 is the next Surrey update.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, the on time for that is 01:23:00. The off time 01:34:00, and the STC changes to 42.
Okay, got that. The on time 01 plus 23 plus 00, off at 01 plus 34 plus 00, and STC is changed from 40 to 42.
That's affirmative. And if you'll notice that the times were just deltaed by 2 minutes on all of those.
Roger that. Okay, Jim, we're going to try to take a break right here and get some breakfast. We will not dilly-dally, though, and hopefully we'll get into the RMS stuff in time to be able to get that Surrey pass there that first one you just read us.
Okay, we copy. Just one reminder on panel R11, before we go LOS at Madrid, we'd like you to get those 3 PCM container switches back off.
Okay, I must have misunderstood your note. They already were off. Was it off you wanted?
We wanted them on, and then we wanted them off before we went LOS.
Okay, can I turn them off now?
That's affirmative. You can turn them off now.
All righty, they are off.
Columbia, Houston, we're about a minute from LOS. IOS is next at 22:52. And for info, we've noticed that fuel cell 3 O2 flow transducer is acting a little bit erratic. So if you see another fuel cell message, you might want to take a look at that.
Okay, Jim, thank you.
This is Shuttle Control at 22 hours, 41 minutes, mission elapsed time. Madrid has loss of signal. Next station is the Indian Ocean Station in 11 minutes. Crew on the timeline for this morning. beginning breakfast at this time. At 22 hours, 41 minutes, mission elapsed time, this is Shuttle Control. This is Shuttle Control at 22 hours, 52 minutes, mission elapsed time. The Indian Ocean Station is about to establish contact with Columbia.
Columbia Houston with you at iOS for 6 minutes.
Okay, Jim, we're with you, and you have just a little bit of an echo.
Roger, we've got a little bit of an echo also. Be advised, we're going to be sending a IMU-3 gyro bias update at iOS for all axes, and then we're going to take a look at it for a while.
Okay, we understand you're going to send up a bias for IMU-3 and didn't get the rest of that.
Roger, the rest just said that we're going to take a look at it for a while.
Okay, I understand. We'll leave it deselected. Hey, Jim, how have the OSTA data takes been going?
Columbia, they've been coming along real well. We think we're getting some good data out of those.
Super.
Columbia Houston, if it's convenient, I've got a nozzle data take opportunity for you. That'll be coming up over Australia in about, 20 minutes.
You bet. Go ahead.
Okay, it looks like there's quite a bit of thunderstorm activity over central Australia. It should be available from 2312 to 2318. Use the night setting. And if you get data, we'd like you to use 2 magazines, 6 minutes of data for that. If after that data take you see lightning also off the east coast, you can use a 3rd magazine.
Okay, we'll be ready for it. Thank you, Jim.
Roger, you bet. Columbia Houston, we're about 1 minute from LOS. Yergady is next at 2307. We'll see you there.
Okay, see you there, Jim. Thank you.
This is Shuttle Control. The Indian Ocean Station has loss of signal now. Next station is Yergady. We've still Yergady in about 8 minutes. During this pass, the crew is informed there may be an opportunity to perform the nozzle experiment. Thunderstorms over central Australia may provide some lightning. And we gave them the time for that, and also informed them that there may be a further opportunity over the coast. At 23 hours mission elapsed time, this is Shuttle Control, Houston. This is Shuttle Control at 23 hours, 6 minutes mission elapsed time. Columbia is about 30 seconds away from acquisition through Yergady.
Columbia Houston's with you through Yergady for 8 minutes.
Okay, Jim, we're reading you loud and clear. Richard has just deployed the arm, and we're bringing it back to still. We're on page 1-6.
Okay, we copy.
It's running very smoothly. Houston PLT, the times for the deploy and the stow were 27 and 26 seconds respectively. Looking good.
Okay, we copy that, Richard. Thank you.
Houston PLT, for your information, the MPM movement on orbit is much, much smoother than it was down there at the Cape. There's no jerkiness whatsoever.
Okay, we copy that. Thank you. Columbia, Houston, we're 1 minute from LOS. Aurora is next at 23:17.
This is Shuttle Control. Yargety has loss of signal. However, the Aurora Australia station will acquire in slightly more than 1 minute. Dick Truly has begun the flight test objective series involving the remote manipulator system. He reported he has deployed the arm and then placed it in a stow position. He described the manipulator position mechanism movement as smooth. We'll stand by for further communications through Aurora.
Columbia, Houston with you through Aurora Valley for 4 minutes.
Roger, Houston, you came at a good time because I got a question on RMS for you.
Roger, go ahead.
Okay, Jim, it's page 1-7.
We're there, go ahead.
Okay, I released the latches. The retention latch talkback went to release in about 8 seconds. However, the ready for latch aft is indicating barber pole, and there where we look on spec 94 on the top column there under aft ready, it's got 2 zeros instead of 2 ones. Over.
Okay, we copy. Let's take a look at it.
Okay, thank you.
And for the CDR, if it's convenient at this time, we'd like you to take the rad controller out T to normal and turn off primary B.
Okay, we'll do it right now, Jim. Going to normal and...
Okay, real fine. Then we'd like you to turn it back on, Joe. And after 30 seconds, we'd like you to see that the evap out temperature is down to about 39 degrees.
Okay, and that flash of that Pri B you want back on, is that correct?
That's affirmative.
Okay, that's in work. And Jim, one more piece of information. I did not see the arm move at all when we released the latches. It didn't look like it had any preload at all.
Okay, understand. No arm movement.
Roger. And Houston PLT.
Roger, go ahead.
Okay, Jim, I'm looking in my binoculars at the end effector, and even though that we did not visually see any arm movement, it almost looks like the end effector in fact, did lift up a very minute amount, and the lighting is not that good back there, so I would hate to swear to it, but it does look like that the end effector may have moved up just a hair.
Okay, we copy. Columbia, we're about 50 seconds from LOS. We'll have some real-time TV over CONUS coming up the next pass. And for planning purposes, we'll probably be wanting to use camera Delta.
I understand.
We don't,
Jim, then.
break. We don't think there's a problem with the wrist pitch. We'd like you to drive it back down, Richard.
Okay, I understand. Try to drive the wrist pitch back down, and if I can get grazed, I'm ready to go. Is that right?
Yes, sir. That's affirmative.
Okie doke, we'll do it.
Columbia, we're about 10 seconds. We'll see you stateside.
Okay, see you there, Jim.
This is Shuttle Control at 23 hours, 21 minutes mission elapsed time. Aurora Valley has a loss of signal. Next station is Tula Peak, New Mexico in 26 and a half minutes. Dick Truly is continuing to proceed through the flight test objective series. Over Aurora was performing the manipulator retention latch part of those tests. Thought for a while that there may have been a slight wrist pitch problem, but as we had loss of signal, there appeared to be no problem with that. The end effector had moved slightly, which gave Truly the indication he was receiving. We'll get television of the remote manipulator system operation during the next stateside pass over the Merritt Island station, and then again when we have acquisition through Madrid. We're expecting first TV on the RMS at 9:01 Central Standard Time. At 23 hours, 23 minutes mission elapsed time, this is Shuttle Control, Houston. This is Shuttle Control at 23 hours, 48 minutes mission elapsed time. Standing by for acquisition through Tula Peak, New Mexico, with overlapping coverage through Merritt Island and Bermuda. We should get television of the remote manipulator system through the Merritt Island station. Columbia should have acquisition in about 15 seconds.
Columbia, Houston, with you through the States for 14 and a half minutes.
And we're reading you loud and clear.
Got you the same.
Okay, Sally, we've got the arm secured right now. We're just getting ready to activate the Surrey. We've got the power on, and we're getting ready to turn it on.
Okay, sounds good.
You sound mighty good, too. And, Sally, I'll be glad to let you know where we are in the checklist on RMS testing.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, the arm is out for the first time. She's been deployed, working great. We have done all the way through page 1-12, and we're sitting, waiting for the Surrey data take to be over to get back into it and do the THC phasing orbiter unloaded on page 1-13. Your suggestion about the latch worked fine. I used direct mode and diddled with it a couple of times and ended up with all three grades.
Okay, that sounds great, and you guys do good work. Columbia, Houston, how do you read? Columbia, Houston, how do you read?
Houston, PLT, read you loud and clear.
Okay, you're loud and clear now, too. And we copied your RMS comments, and it sounds great.
Okay.
We have a picture coming in.
And, well, we've got a Surrey data take going. We'd like you to take the primary B FES controller off and then back on.
Okay, Sally. Thank you. I didn't even see that it had come down there. Houston, Columbia.
Go ahead.
Roger, are you getting TV down there?
We had a great picture of the flag from camera Delta, and now we've got a test pattern.
Oh. Okay. If you get a chance during the pass, why don't you get in code to look at the RMS elbow camera and tell us when you can do that if you get it locked up.
Okay, we'll do that, and we've got a picture of the flag back, and we'll coordinate with ENCO.
Super.
Columbia, Houston, we've got the elbow camera.
Okay.
Hi, Mom.
Even as we speak. And Sally, you can tell Inco he can use any of the cameras now that he likes. We'll not be using them again until after the Surrey pass.
Okay, we copy. Thank you.
And Sally, you might tell Inco that the cabin TV is out there now if he wants to tune in on that also. Okay, we'll tell him. Columbia, Houston, well, you've got a minute. We'd like to cycle the cabin fans, and the way we'd like to do that is have you turn cabin fan A on, let us verify that it's on, and then we'll give you a go to cycle B off. Okay, sure enough. Looks like it's a little cloudy out here, Sally. Good thing the survey sees through that. And Columbia, we would like to get the cabin fans changed as soon as possible. Good. He is on, Sally. And we can hear it crank up on the board. Okay, stand by. Okay, we see fan A on, and we'd like you to take Bravo off now. Okay, Bravo's off. Okay, and be advised that we're looking at a great picture from, looks like, camera Delta of the on and the off.
This is Mission Control, Houston.
Good shot.
11 hours, 30 minutes into the second flight of Spaceship Columbia.
And we're looking inside the cabin now. Looks like you're having some trouble with your
We're
sound.
over Botswana. We should be
Copy that.
acquisition of signal at this
Half
time.
hours,
CRTs.
Crew getting powered down, both themselves and the spacecraft. Shuttle control, both Klingon were photographing the Earth through the overhead windows. Gallery officer to the crew activity counter, both that was floating and
Go ahead.
The survey has been deactivated the survey, so I'm going to get back into testing and you know let info know that I'll need to be doing something different.
to Botswana will be ready for 6 minutes. So
Okay, we copy that, and that's fine. A reminder that we're going to have real-time TV again at Madrid at the next pass. And we're about 40 seconds out. LOS, Madrid is next at 00 plus 08.
10:15 MET.
In Columbia, Houston, if it's convenient over Madrid during the real-time TV, the Incos would like to use the mobile camera to pan the bay.
okay, Joe, you can go there right now. No problem.
I can help you move it, help them move it eventually and get it tested.
Okay, good.
This is steady control. And goes beyond Bermuda's range now. Madrid will look at Columbia in 4.5 minutes. We'll have more live television there. As we acquired at Tula Peak, pilot for Tula reported that he had gone through about a half a dozen flight test objectives for the remote computer system. But he had secured it for the Surrey pass over the continental United States.
We're going to ask you to do
reported that the arm worked great.
slightly more of a power down for the sleep period.
He's now picking up
We'd like you to operate
the
with
rest of
just
the
the one
series
CRT
at
that's nominal. In other words, verify 3
Go ahead,
CRTs
Dr.
off the
Joseph.
sleep period.
Good
Got minimum
on the
light.
17th orbit
And
in about
also
2.5
on
minutes.
panel R11,
At 1 day,
row
4 minutes.
hotel,
Mission elapsed time. This is
we'll ask you
shuttle
to
control
take the
Houston.
DFI, PCM, containers
This is
1,
shuttle control
2,
at 1
and
day,
3,
8 minutes. Mission elapsed time.
strain gauge
Standing by for
conditioners
acquisition
to off.
Madrid.
Over.
Columbia, Houston, with you from Madrid for 6 minutes.
Okay, Tom. Roger, Rick, and would you like those? I did those, we're in the test now. Richard, no, that's not important. It's in order to get us down to a power level which will permit us to run
Okay, we copy.
host a pallet throughout the night, and I'm sure you'll be pleased to hear that we'll be
And
able
we've
to
got
do
some more good TV shots coming down.
Okay. Okay, Sally, the camera, the elbow camera is set up on a pretty good view, and Alpha Camera Delta is got a nice view on that. Should there be any doubt?
Camera Delta is the one we're looking at.
3 switches. That's pretty good. 1, 2, and 3. 3 of them.
Three.
Over. Gotcha, understand.
Columbia, Houston, if you get to a convenient break point in the RMS operations, we've got some heater reconfiguration on the cryo tank.
And Houston, we're complete with the dive wheel. Okay, just a second. I think we're in a good break point now. I've completed phase 113.
Okay, let me know when you're ready.
That's affirmative. Okay. Okay, Sam, I'm not sure about the passing.
Okay, tank set 1, we'd like O2 tank 1 Bravo to auto. And H2, the hydrogen tank, Bravo auto.
Okay, all the switches are presently in auto.
Okay, and on tank set 2, we'd like O2 tank Alpha auto. And H2, the hydrogen tank Alpha auto.
Roger, they are.
And all the rest of the tank heaters off. OFF.
Oh, dear. Okay, that is verifying. So we'll end up with all of the tank 3 heaters off OSS, that's correct?
That's affirmative.
Okay, on the tank 2, we want A to be an auto and C to be off, that's correct? Go ahead.
That's
We're
correct.
with you for 1 minute and 30 seconds. And I think you have that one, was it A off or to sleep it either over the loop or else on
That's the
telephone, you
alpha
can give us
off
a
on
rough
tank
idea
1.
of what your
Bravo
plans
off
are
on
now
tank
for
2.
navigation,
All the tank 3
so
heaters
we
are
can
off.
be thinking ahead a little bit also. Okay, let's turn it that way.
And
Okay,
Columbia,
Joe,
Houston,
I
when you
think
get back
if
to
you,
panel
care
A8, if
to,
you could
review
select the
the
elbow
weather
camera
mission
for us, we're
plan
unable
for
to do
day
that from the
2,
ground.
that will be our plan for tomorrow.
Okay, you got
There
it,
may
pal.
be minor mods, but we don't
Okay,
anticipate
thank you.
anything significant different from that, over.
Columbia, Houston, we're 1 minute to LOS. Indian Ocean
Roger,
exit
we will
00
review the
plus
minimum mission
25.
for day 2 and this evening, and okay, well, see that thing that I'd be interested in would be,
Okay.
you know, a short summary of the status of APU 1 and 3.
This is Shuttle Control.
Okay,
We've
that's
had loss of
certainly
signal
fair.
from the
We'll
grid.
be with you for
Up
30
station
seconds
is,
more. We'll put
Indian
you up at
Ocean.
Indian Ocean Station in about a minute and a half, and we'll have you there for 8 more minutes.
Television doesn't have good both resist and double timers on the remote arm. Double timer is Columbia's exterior. Also a shot of the arm deployed
Columbia, Houston,
and
Indian
the
Ocean on early round 1.
camera on the forward bulkhead of the payload dope.
Okay, Richard, we will get back to you with
One
your
day,
request
16
on
minutes.
APU
That's
1
when
and
that's
3
time. This
status.
is Shuttle Control.
We do have nothing else for you at the present time.
This is Shuttle
And,
Control.
we'll
It's 1 day, 25 minutes. National Labs time.
The nights.
Columbia is approaching our position through the Indian Ocean Station.
Like it will change significantly.
We're beginning a playback of the television feed
Okay, Rick, we appreciate it.
Rhode Island and
Stand by, we
Madrid.
may have another thing to talk to you about. Hang on.
Columbia, Houston, with you through the Indian Ocean for 7 minutes.
Houston, TLT. Go ahead.
Columbia, Houston, how do you read?
Roger, I was in the process of
Columbia, Houston, how do you read on UHF?
and when I tried to open the supply water dump isolation valve, it should have gotten a open. That was propofol and remain propofol. And down here on ML86 Bravo, that circuit breaker is open. And the main supply water dump isolation valve circuit breaker.
Columbia, Houston, how do you read?
I believe that I closed every except for the waterline heat of B Bravo.
Columbia, Houston, how do you read on S-band?
Over. Copy, Houston, Columbia, region loud and clear.
Okay, we've got you loud and clear now.
Okay, Charlie, we heard the other calls. Okay, a little bit of echo when you're coming up, presumably UHF on it, but still loud and clear now. We're just getting into the test on phase 1-17, going into the steps 2, 4, and 6 course on that. I'd like to verify with you the
Okay, 1-17 and for the changes to the flight plan.
That's correct. Well, I just and also telling on page 115 for your information, here's the test shaping maneuver, which did work fine. The lift pitch drifted into the reach limit while we were trying to watch the dynamics, and we got it out, so that worked fine. That is correct.
Okay, we copy that.
Okay. And Columbia, Houston will be with you for 3.5 hours. Now, Houston PLT, incidentally, the operator command has been working very well.
Okay, that's more good news.
This is the first time we've tried it, but it does work very well.
Okay, good.
Okay, bye-bye.
Columbia, Houston, we're about 1 minute to LOS. Target is next at 00 plus 42.
We'll recommend that you reset that system.
Okay, we'll see you there, Sally.
Attempt the procedure. Over.
And also, Sally, we're on step 4 on page 117, and we repeated step 2 one time. Okay, Rick, the circuit breaker is reset.
Okay, step 4, and you did step 2 twice. And just a reminder, it's getting to be about time to switch the batteries in the wireless
We'll see you next at Hawaii in 30 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and
This is self-control. That's the end of the replay from the Marla television. Be about a 45-minute delay, 45-second delay before the Madrid replay begins.
loss of signal through
Columbia's out of range again to an ocean station.
minutes away from acquisition through
Next acquisition through Yargity in
back
8.5 minutes.
Hawaii pass this preceding
At 1:34 minutes.
private medical conference.
Mission elapsed time. This is shuttle control.
Poole and the crew of Columbia. Dr. Poole reports that the crew is feeling great.
This is shuttle control at 1:42 minutes. Mission elapsed time.
For them, any medication
Gravity is about to acquire Columbia.
motion sickness. Medication taken pre-launch.
Columbia Houston through Yargity for 7 minutes.
Back in 26 minutes.
Okay, we're up Sally, and we're positioning this somewhere right in the middle of page 118 here.
Okay, we've got you loud and clear, and we don't have anything for you this time.
12 hours, 17 minutes.
Okay, Sally, we're just step 2 on page 118 now, and the steps are going good.
15 seconds earlier than predicted.
Okay, good. Step 2 on 1-18.
Columbia, this is Houston through Hawaii. We'll be with you for 7 minutes. Over.
Okay, Houston, you're loud and clear. And, this is shuttle control. Pilot Dick Cooley is continuing a series of validation runs
Okay, we copy that.
remote manipulator system during this pass over Yargity.
Roger, we copy that.
So
And,
far,
you
our
can
intercept
see on
activities
the,
have gone very well.
We're on our way. Thank you, sir.
Continue to stand by for any
We do have a
further
telephone message
and
to come up.
conversation.
It'll contain some weather data and some tick time.
we have completed
We're also interested in your IMU line information.
on
page
118.
Hey, that's super.
And for the back room folks, we did on step 3, we started from the south section and I had repositioned and single it and not gone to direct.
Okay,
So we
we
turned
read
off
you
the
did
camera
fuel
to
cell
the
203 manual fuel cell purge.
Okay, we've got that.
And Columbia, Houston,
Okay,
just
now you can help me stay on it, Sally, on
clarification
119.
information.
What your
We
instructions
will
were.
expect you to do manual purges on both 2 and 3 for the remainder of the
And
mission.
I see and set up the course test on steps 4, 5, and 6.
I haven't
Yeah,
answered
that's
your
affirmative. That's
questions.
exactly
I'm
what we
being
want you to do.
used, Richard, and I'm prepared to
Good work.
tell you about that.
Roger, go ahead.
Columbia Houston, we're 1 minute to LOS. Aurora Valley is next at 0 plus 51.
VM cooling and probably has a gas bubble similar to
This
APU
is shuttle
1 and
control
3
at 1:51 minutes. The
APU
Laurel
2
Valley
and 3
Station will have
showed
acquisition in
nominal
about 10
performance,
seconds.
except the water sprayed boiler on number 3
Columbia Houston through Aurora Valley for 4.5 minutes.
and the freeze up lasted longer than anticipated. We presently expect to have 3
Okay, we
good
copy,
EPUs
and we're going to be
connected,
sending you a teleprinter
and we're
message, which
still
will be
working on
the
the
weather data.
optimum start plan. Over.
Okay, copy that. And correction on that, that's step 4 on page 119. You're saying that the reason the tip
Okay, step 4.
APU 3 during the MPS dump was due to freeze
Columbia Houston, we're 1 minute to LOS. We'll talk to you stateside at 1
we
plus
expect
19.
that was thought out after the APU shut down.
Okay, and over the states where you're doing the survey data take and taking a break from the IMS, we'd like to talk about our plans for the rest of the flight.
Okay, and while you're reading that to us, we got a few command loads to send up to you.
Ready to keep going if you are.
Negative, those are
I was afraid you'd say
TMUs,
that.
Joe. We'll adjust some limits. By the way, we think we might have caused a spec 66 water message. Last time we sent up some PMDUs,
This is
we
shuttle control
transposed a high and a low limit.
at
What do you think of that now? 56 minutes mission elapsed time. Aurora Valley has lost its signal. Next station is Buckhorn, California.
Y was 21, minus Z was 17.
In 23 minutes. NASA management has completed a review of the STS-2 mission status, and a decision has been made to execute the minimum mission, which was pre-planned to accomplish the major test, engineering, and scientific objectives in the 54-hour abbreviated mission. Landing at Edwards Air Force Base is now planned to occur at 2 days, 6 hours, and 6 minutes mission elapsed time, or 1:22 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. There will be a mission status briefing in the Building 2 auditorium at the Johnson Space Center at 11:30 a.m. today, Central Standard Time. Participants will be Dr. Christopher Kraft, Director of JSC, Eugene Collins, Deputy Director of Flight Operations, and Glenn Lenny, the manager of the Space Shuttle program. To repeat this announcement, NASA management has completed a review of STS-2 mission status and has decided to execute the minimum mission as pre-planned to accomplish major test objectives in a 54-hour abbreviated mission. At the landing at Edwards Air Force Base at 2 days, 6 hours, 6 minutes, mission elapsed time, or 1:22 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow, Saturday. At 1 day, 58 minutes, mission elapsed time. This is Shuttle Control, Houston.
Okay, we see
This is Shuttle Control at 1 day, 1 hour, 3 minutes, with a correction on the landing time tomorrow at Edwards. The mission elapsed time of landing will be 2 days, 6 hours, and 12 minutes. The Pacific Standard Time is as good in 1:22 p.m. Landing time, and mission elapsed time, 2 days, 6 hours, 12 minutes. Pacific Standard Time, 1:22 p.m.
Okay, Richard, we'll go for that. We'll be with you for another minute and 20 seconds.
This is Shuttle Control at 1 day, 1 hour, 19 minutes mission elapsed time. Columbia is approaching acquisition to the Buckhorn Tracking Station in California. We'll stand by.
Way 1, we'll get back to you.
Columbia, Houston to Buckhorn for 18 minutes.
Columbia, Houston, we're one more so I think we'd like to hold off.
Okay, we copy.
And so we completed through page 123, and so we're going to pick up on 124 when we get going again. Okay, we'll see you then.
Okay, we copy. And Columbia, Houston, we're going to be sending you some accelerometer biases for all 3 IMUs.
Awesome signal.
And when you get a chance, we'd also like you to check the teleprinter. We sent up message 1818 at Aurora Valley, and we had a problem. The tone stayed on the entire time, so we'd like you to verify that that message came up good. And we're going to be sending you another message this past, message 17.
Okay. Spacecraft communicator, Rick Hall. So it says on the number of the message that Aurora, this is that. Water spray boiler.
Message number 18.
Okay. Give them a thumbs up. And Houston PLC, we have gotten a couple of S68 fuel cell messages you might look for. I do not see anything that's strange other than fuel cell warning. Back in 17 minutes.
Okay, we just saw those also, and it looks like fuel cell 3 erratic transducer.
4 seconds. And that's on the O2 flow?
That's affirmative.
Okay. This is Mission Control Houston.
In Columbia, Houston, we're working on a Kimbu right now to fix that parameter for
We're
you.
about to make a pass over the Santiago, Chile tracking station, which is the last scheduled communication with the vehicle and the crew before the crew is scheduled to go to sleep in about 15 minutes.
Okay,
flight
good. We
record
see
on
that
C
also.
is
And
checking with all the
we
other
just saw
subsystems.
the evap temp
See if there are any
up at
outstanding
about 50
questions,
degrees.
things
We'd
that need
like
to
you
be
to take
resolved
the
before the
primary
crews put
B
to bed
thrust
this
controller
evening.
off and then back on.
To Santiago for 6
And
minutes.
Columbia, Houston, when you've got a minute, I can tell you about some of our plans for later in the day.
We got your last clear. We have a few items for you. Also, we'll be waiting for your summary of where you all figure you were in the timeline.
Columbia, Houston, there's no action required on your part. We're about to switch pumps out on the OSTA pallet. We've been running on 2 phases on the pump that's on now. We'll be swapping them from the ground.
Is the best IMU. Also, the state vector looks like it'll be good for 7 orbits. Over.
Okay, first bad news. Our plan is that we're running a minimum mission and you'll be coming in tomorrow.
Okay, and one more thing. You mentioned your reflected power. You cut out on the amount that you read on
Want me to say it again?
Do you remember how what that quantity was?
Kind of a low frequency squeal at the time it was right now it's indicating looks like a -7.
Okay.
Okay, I understand Niner. That's the one to verify that you're
Okay, you get to hear the bad news one more time then. We're running a minimum mission and you'll be coming in tomorrow.
Okay, that's not so good.
Also, we got a TNDU on the way up.
Think of it that you've got all of the good OSTA data and all the RMS data and you just did too good a job. We're going to bring you in.
Okay, and if that's all you have, I got a couple of quick questions.
And for the minimum mission, we'd like you, when you get a chance, to review the minimum mission pages in the tab. There are some notes that are relevant on the tabs page.
It's been pretty warm all day, and
that's page 5-8.
Connect the cabin temperature to the full heat position. Do you think
We are
that's
going to be
necessary?
making some changes to it, though, and we're still working on
We'll
those
get
down
back to you
here.
on that.
The one thing that we do know is that we're going to be deleting the forward RCS test that are called out in the minimum mission time. And we're deleting those in favor of getting some more OSTA data. So we'll be adding some survey passes that will be commanded from the ground, and we'll be doing those while we're on the PRCS and the primers.
Okay, I understand. Okay, and also, right after this LOS,